So I tried the only thing I knew to try. I hit that bong real hard and man, I got so high and got online. Now maybe it was the whiskey, and maybe it was the beer, and maybe it was the weed, but somehow I wound up here, laughing my ass off at some Liberty memes. I signed up for the Patreon group, and as strange as it seems, somehow I knew that me and you would make a real good team. Well, a few months have come and gone since then. I'm feeling better than I'd ever been. I'm back again. Just don't feel like getting high anymore. I got this big old bong that I got no use for on my floor. Now maybe I'll live forever, and maybe I'll die tonight, and maybe I'll move to Cleveland, but somehow it'll be alright. We'll be laughing our ass off at some Liberty memes, saving cats and horses and fulfilling kids' dreams. LNPM, yeah, I'm with them. We make a real good team. We make a real good team.
Come back guys, happy Friday.
Yes, happy Friday. Thank you for joining us. This is Liberty Late Night. I'm Mary.
And I'm Dave, and I got a haircut.
And he did get a haircut. Looking sexy, babe. All trimmed up and looking nice. Very, very nice. It is February 14th, 2020. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's.
Happy Valentine.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says...
Oh, that's for me for later.
That's too soon. Wrong button. Hi,
that's
guys.
for Mary later in the evening. Yeah. So that was an episode of 30 Rock, and I remember Rachel Dratch. Dratch? How do you say her last name? Well, anyway. But her character there cracked me up so bad. Happy Valentine's with the M.
What's up? Caleb's excited.
Love it. Hi, Caleb.
Woo! Yeah.
Yay! I wear my hair in a ponytail too much, so it's been like poofing a lot, and it's been bothering me. Every time I turn my head, I'm just like, I work so hard to get that poof down. But, you know, hey, whatever. Right?
It's freezing down here.
It is. It's cold. It's cold. I think today, I don't know, it was like 16 degrees was supposed to be the high or something. So, but we've lucked out because we haven't had the frigidness that other people have. So, yeah. Dave does need an Adidas tracksuit.
Friends.
Friends?
Yay!
We got one for Celeste.
Awesome.
Who else is here?
You know, they make these little pizzas that are Celeste pizzas. They're like $1. You know, Davey was like, I'm going to go buy one of those. And I was like, we should take a picture because it's Celeste.
I should probably figure out like how many seconds I'm allowed to have before it's copyright infringement.
Right, exactly. I also wonder that.
I got a claim on me for a stream from like Aaron Hermes.
Oh,
that was,
okay.
Like, weeks ago.
That was weeks
I just
ago.
got it the other night.
Really?
And you know who I think it
Donnie.
was from? And it's like almost a 3-hour stream, and I got to figure out where they got it from. But it was that, I swear it was that dude from the Young Turks. This.
I don't know.
Sek or whatever.
I'd say it was awesome. Oh, that's so wonderful. That's so wonderful. As a person who doesn't like winter, that is so cool. But also, because you know,
is that what you're sending me,
like
Andy?
to not go out and socialize. So,
Hi, Cassandra.
What's the word I'm looking for again? Not a hermit. I'm a hermit in the wintertime, especially. No, not agoraphobic. Introvert.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that's what it is.
Gosh. Hey, Laura, what's going on? I'm assuming that Aaron is here. I think I saw. Yes, there he is. Okay. Hi, Shillelagh.
Aaron's here.
Oh, it is.
You done messed up, Aaron!
Oh.
Thank you for letting us know. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for the share, Ben.
For sharing, Ben White.
I got a share alert?
Thanks for the heads up there, Aaron. Hey, Cassandra, how you doing? Or is it Cassandra? I want to make sure I'm saying it right. I'm here. I'm just detailing the yellow whore for the Kermie tomorrow.
Sink
Well, have
Uger
fun.
on the Young Turks. His campaign and media coverage of progressives. What the hell is that?
I don't even know what that means, guys. I don't even know what that means. So what are y'all doing?
Yeah,
It's
so I
Valentine's
got a
Day.
copy strike
Does
from
anybody
Young
care?
Turks.
Does anybody not care? Like Dave and I.
You have to make it exciting for the kids.
Yes. So I had little treats, bags, and stuff ready for homebody. There you go. Yeah, I'm actually a homebody, even though I do enjoy people. And once I'm out, I'm okay. But the anxiety of like going out is really bad. So I just prefer to be at home. So.
Ben White.
Man, a bunch of my homies. All right. Oh, I know. I've been seeing pictures of Anarchapulco, and it's and videos and stuff from it too. I really want that needs to be on our bucket list. Yeah, you're drinking by yourself. You're not by yourself.
With us.
You're drinking with us. Yeah, exactly.
Crowd of at least there's dozens of us.
Yeah.
Thanks
Hey, thanks, Carl.
Oh, I didn't know these things have never worked, and now they're all working. And
we have a
seems
date
like
with
there's two of
Beau.
them.
He has a date with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
Good
is
deal.
exciting. I'm really
Beau
pumped
is
to.
already in the comments.
Yeah, I'm really excited to get a chance to have a long conversation with you. No, don't.
Not too long because I gotta work like.
I know. I figured we're not going to have an
28
after
hours this
party
weekend.
tonight because Dave's got to be at work, and then he's going to work for 8 hours. So,
Split in half. Well,
yay for overtime though, right?
Yeah.
You've been.
It's been dry lately.
Yeah,
That's why I
you've
got
been
a
really
haircut. I'm
wanting
like,
it.
yeah, I can afford it now. So if you're watching on YouTube, anything else, make sure you hit that like button or whatever.
Yeah, like
Thumbs up
subscribe.
it. Subscribe.
Do the dingy bell thingy.
I'd say comment, but I don't think it counts with live streams. I don't know. You have to come back and comment after it's over again.
Hey, you can do that.
can do that.
So there's this thing. Yeah, our basement's like freezing cold right now. Is your nose like a little
I've been
runny?
down here for a couple hours.
I
too.
know. So there's this thing. I have Dave, if you're ready to cue it up. Before we bring Beau on, I kind of want everybody's opinion on this, because this is, I don't know, it irritated me, but I'm not going to say which side.
Did you ring the bell, lad?
Thank you. I mean, you'll get notification. Oh, because Facebook or YouTube? I don't know. You gotta, yeah. No after party today, Andy. I'm sorry. We're just gonna be 11:30, and then
16-hour shifts.
Start
sick.
Telling me to wrap it up. So
wrap it up.
It's the first one. Okay, so I'm gonna read this real quick, and then Dave's gonna play it, and then I want your guys' opinion on it, because you've probably seen it. But this woman was on a plane, and she had an experience, and this is what she wrote on Twitter. He was angry that I reclined my seat and punched it about 9 times hard, at which point I began videoing him, and he resigned to this behavior. The other jackhole is the American Air flight attendant who reprimanded me and offered him rum. So let's just take a peek and see.
Hopefully we don't. Now I'm always like, is this a YouTube video?
I don't think so.
He looks like Michael from Vsauce.
He looks like Tall Chicken from
Tall Chicken.
Honduras, yeah.
That's
We've also heard this is
awkward.
Sean Hatchie, but it's not Sean Hatchie. So he's punching her seat, doing this kind of thing, because she's reclined. And I just want to know, did he try to say something to her? Why don't they talk? That's what I want to know. What happened to good old communication? Like, hey, I'd like to recline my seat a tiny bit.
This is
too
so
much?
passive aggressive on both parts.
Both are being so insanely passive aggressive. It irritates me.
Oh, I left this on.
So,
It works.
reclining your seat on a plane is a nap violation. Okay, now I'm not a flyer. I've only
we-
flown twice in my life, so I don't know. Okay, we got fuck that guy. We got nap violation. Okay, so nap violation on whose part? Liberty After Dark. She's an asshole for leaning her seat back. Okay, all right. So it's her. It's him. We need a poll.
You can make those on Facebook and video live streams. You can set up a poll ahead of time and trigger it, because we know that Liberty memes people love polls.
Yes. So I don't know the etiquette. I do know that
I think it's
seats...
both of them, and I think they need what are those called? A mediator?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a mediator.
You shouldn't need a mediator. You should be like,
be a fucking
just
adult.
be like this, and he'll be like, yeah, the seat reclines. Okay, so
yeah,
you lean back, and it's like, excuse me, I'm trying to do something here. Do you mind not leaning back so far?
Yes, exactly. Say like,
and she can be like, and then you can get into a fight about it.
Hi, Brandon. Seriously, don't recline your seats. We all have the same amount of shit space. Yeah. Don't get in my space.
We're mostly getting your input. But why is the seat reclined then?
For all those poles clogging on my feet. Oh, right. I really don't even participate in a lot of them.
We started a fight in the comments section.
The guy should have bought a different seat. Okay, so there's different, like for a tall person, you're saying that he should have bought a different seat.
This would be
Both
our first,
parties acted like giant babies. That is exactly where I stand on this, is that nobody spoke up about it. So
here, for Brandon, I'm going to play it again a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This is what we're talking about.
We're talking about this. I want to go back and
he's punching it.
Read the YouTube
over
comment
and
there.
over and over.
Mm-hmm. So instead of people talking like adults that they are, this is how they act. I heard that he asked her to wait to recline till after he ate, which she did, but then he got mad when she reclined after he finished eating. Well.
Did you see his face?
Yeah.
He's like, I can't believe she...
Woo! Oh my gosh, awkward. So what? It's touching his knees. Is that what it is, or it's in the little bit of space that he has there? Because I'm sure it is just a tiny bit of space. You're on a freaking airplane, so I feel a stupid poll coming.
Actually, polls are a touchy subject right
now. I was gonna make some kind of like totally in the gutter comment about that, but you're not stupid. And that'll be later, because it's Valentine's Day.
Ah,
Get it? Because
I'm
you're
a Pole.
Polish. I will strangle you if you pressure my knees with your seat, but you can't get up to strangle me. I'll leave it and recline until I'm off the plane. Oh, I'm sure they cut down on space.
Yeah.
You know what? When Kmart was still around, we went to the Kmart parking lot, and they had somebody come and paint the lines.
And they're just as wide as your car. It is the most uncomfortable parking lot I've ever been in my life.
It was the worst. I'm like, really, Kmart? You're gonna have this many people here?
Like, I'd go
and,
back
2
a
years
little
later,
bit,
they
but then I'd
closed.
take 2 spots, and I'd be like, here, I'm resetting everything.
Plain seats don't recline. I would assume that they wouldn't make the seat recline that far, because all that would do is cause
create that
problems.
kind of situation.
Yeah, this is how people get murdered. Oh, yeah.
And then you know the marshal's gonna jump up on the plane and start firing shots off.
Yeah. And now, I mean, do you think at the time the guy knew that he was getting recorded?
It looked like she was holding the phone right on him.
Like he would have. Yeah, no.
She didn't seem like she was hiding it at all.
You have long arms, so it doesn't matter. Oh, now, like I said, my flying experience, it's been 20 years since I've been on a plane, so I don't know. And you want to recline a smidge, you know, maybe you can ask the person behind you, you know?
Yeah,
I mean,
you gotta work that out.
Yeah.
I guess you are invading their property, even though the seats
is it
shouldn't
your
do
right?
that.
Yeah, is it your right to recline?
The seats shouldn't do that,
Hi,
but
Joel.
you're invading their property, so maybe you need to come, you need to draw up a contract on how much of your property they're going to let you use.
Yeah. So what the airline should do is just not make seats able to recline then, because...
Not into the space of the person behind you.
But anything reclined is into the space of the person, right?
Well, all you're paying for is the seat. You don't own the air.
Oh, man. Just started yelling.
We heard Sean Hatchie's at a concert. Look at you, Sean. You're a top
That's
fan. We got top
awesome.
fans.
Yay.
Donnie
Wow.
Smith's a top fan. Showing up right there in the feed. I gotta start
feeling back
telling
a tiny,
people
tiny
like a
bit, I
little
will
bit later when we're gonna bring them on, because
I think
always
that-
say 9:45.
I know. Well, that's why I wanted to talk about this real quick, and then we can move on. So we know what's... have fun, Sean. You don't own the seat. But you put that bitch... Yeah, I mean, and they shouldn't
They
go
get
back
mad
that
when
far.
you open the hatch.
They shouldn't, definitely should not go back that far. We should go more legroom and rows. Then reclining wouldn't be an issue. Right, now, some... Get out the way. Now, are there seats for taller people?
Yeah, first class.
Is it a thing? I mean, is there a place on a plane where you have more
you have
legroom?
to pay for more seats, for better seats.
Oh, really? Okay.
You
What
don't-
about that row where, like, you can, you know, then... But
It's
then...
where handicapped people really go.
No, I'm saying where the hatch opens, like if there's an emergency, and then
Ah.
you're in charge of learning
You're in charge.
how
You have
to deal with that. So
responsibility.
you're tall, you want legroom, that's your fault. Now you have to learn how to get everyone
You're
off
all
the plane
armed.
safe.
Because you talk it out first, because nobody's going to pull out their gun if everybody's armed. Either that, or you better hope you have the crowd support. And on a subject like this, obviously it's split, not evenly, but there's a split.
Sure. Yep.
Short
Those
people's
opinions.
See, yeah, because I'd already have my knees
Oh
up to
yeah,
my
because you're
chest.
tall. Yeah, you're 6'3", so that's. I don't. Yeah. I
Oh,
don't,
me. Oh, him.
No, yeah, you're 6'4", and Liberty After Dark is 6'3". So, next poll. How many inches should there be allowed?
Never mind.
So it was interesting seeing it because
Same with.
it's not tall people friendly. I believe that. I
don't-
believe that. I don't think
don't
a lot
have
of things are tall people friendly.
I don't have a whole lot of reasons to fly, but now I won't. I'll drive. I'll take rail. I'll do anything else I can. Get a boat.
Oh, because of TSA.
Yeah. That's what
Yeah.
Patriot. Eek.
Oh, okay. Yep.
New person,
Well,
new person, new
apparently,
person.
What new person? Would you say?
Patriot Eek. That's a new person. isn't it?
Patriot.
That doesn't look
Where did
familiar.
I see this?
Oh, it's over in this chart.
Oh, you're doing this, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I am like,
Right
my
here.
eyeballs. Oh, hello, hi. I haven't flown since TSA existed. Don't plan to. Hello. I'm sorry, I didn't see your comment, and Dave's,
Nothing's tall people.
fingering the screen. I don't know what's going on. So, even suits aren't tall people friendly.
That's right. Use your
Oh,
words.
Yeah. Yep. Well, you know, like Dave goes to the big and tall section sometimes, and he's so frustrated because...
No, because it's for short, fat people.
Yeah,
it's all big, no tall.
No tall. People will react from her filming and posting the incident rather than handling herself by using her words. Exactly. Use your words. Use your words. I don't know how you don't, Aaron. I do not know how you don't. I don't understand.
Doesn't make sense. I don't control them.
Yeah. Yeah, minus the tall. It's just the big section.
See, he's on... Oh, there it is. Okay, I was going to say, somebody's on Twitch, and we got 0 up there, but now I have 1.
Oh, okay. Oh, man, did you?
And Liberty After Dark, I have to talk to you again.
Dave doesn't want to get raped by the TSA.
So I got it all loaded on Streamlabs OBS. It works for me. Everything's good.
They're talking.
But I'm only getting options for 2 multi-streams.
The coronavirus or just long hair on airplanes. Actually, we're about to be doing an interview
This
with
is what we were talking about.
Beau Wright. This is what we were talking about.
This guy punching this lady's seat because she leaned back. But they're not talking to each other. They're just passive-aggressively punching seats and recording each other. I just want to see his face again when he gets mad.
Right.
Real quick.
Someone needs to pause, zoom in on that face, make it a meme.
Might be a meme. Right there. See it? It's like, "Urgh." and then, are you fucking kidding me?
Cassandra, how do you know that that's going to make me laugh?
Oh, Cassandra.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I know who that is.
Okay.
You got an alt on YouTube?
Wow. Oh my gosh. He is in the wrong. She has tried to recline. He doesn't.
See?
Now, if it reclines into his space, though, if he doesn't like it, fly first class. Oh, okay, or deal with it.
It keeps kicking your
Reminds me
seat.
of the kid behind me. Yeah. Well, see, that's what at first
You're
I
in
thought
my
was happening. When I first clicked on the video and I saw her seat moving, I was like, is that a kid? And then I was like, oh, that's a grown man. Oh, gosh.
Well, this was fun to talk about. We got to think of things like this every week.
Yeah.
This worked out really
When
well.
I saw it, I was just like, this is so frustrating. Another one I should have pulled up, and I'm not going to, but would be the one where the kid he was trying to leave school to go to a dentist appointment, and the school security person, police officer hired by the school, I'm not exactly sure his title, but also what I'm assuming would be like somebody in charge of the school also next to him, would not let the kid leave the school. And the guy threatened to shoot the kid if he drove any closer to him. That was one that really made me mad. Juan, I think you're the one who shared that video, because I was like, I'm raging right now. The lady is a Karen for sure. That was
no, because Karens will speak up.
Oh yeah, Karen's not afraid to talk to the man. She would have called the manager right away.
Yeah, she would have asked for the manager of the airplane. Can I speak to the manager of the airplane?
Right.
You mean the pilot? He's flying the plane.
She says he hit the seat hard. This is her quote was, he was angry that I reclined my seat and punched it about 9 times hard, at which point I began videoing him, and he resigned to this behavior. And then the American airline flight attendant reprimanded the woman and offered the man some rum.
So he took a side.
Yeah.
Which is odd.
Yeah.
Fix your seats, bro, then. Well, I guess he doesn't probably have much say in the mechanics of the seats.
Yeah. They're the same people who lean their seat back on road trips. Oh, man. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, I totally understand, Aaron. Yep. Got to charge them phones. So we're about to bring on Beau Wright.
Yeah, if he's around, let me get in
Yeah,
contact
let's give him a shout out real quick here, or a connection. Beau is a meme war veteran. He has been around
he's a friend of ours.
He is. He's a friend of
ours. We wanted
ours.
to have him on the show, and
we're excited.
It worked out great.
And how great that it's Valentine's Day and
Beau.
we're having Beau on. So I think it's going to be really exciting.
I made him a thing, and I meant to load it up, and I didn't do it.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it.
Whatever you want to do, babe.
No, it wouldn't be pretty.
So we're going to be chatting with him in just a minute. I've been on a plane. I got no rumble. How soon that you get on a plane can you get a drink? That's what I want to know. So Someone talk about thick blue line.
Thick blue line.
Thick blue line. You talk about it. Tell me about
familiar?
it. This is important. Tell me
guess
more.
what?
Tell me more, Liberty After Dark.
I was getting my hair cut. This guy walks in, and I kind of look over, and I'm like, "Oh, that's an easy haircut," because it's like bald, but a little crew cut going on in here and here. But I'm like, okay, maybe it's a little overgrown, but it's like you could just do that yourself.
Yeah.
And so it must have been a new girl that came and sat him down, and was going to cut his hair, and the lady who's been there forever was like, "Oh, make sure you do a good job, or he'll arrest you."
Not even funny.
he's like right next to me. And she's, "Oh, he's a cop."
Oh, man, not even funny.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, "Here, give me a reason to tell him I'm an anarchist."
Yeah, it makes me even nervous. Like, if they're just even off duty and, whatever. I'm like...
And I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, sure.
Because she's cutting my hair, and I abuse myself.
Good.
I stay up too late, and I'm just sitting there with my eyes
closed.
closed.
Thank you.
And I'm afraid I'm doing, like, one of these, like, while she's cutting my hair,
Yeah.
And, like, I actually said it afterwards. I was like, I was kind of passing out there. I hope I didn't, like, jerk my head or anything like that. And the cop kind of looked over at me, and I'm like, "You think I'm on meth or..." Not meth, but opioids.
Yeah. No, man, I'm just really high on life.
All right, I think I might...
Oh, let's see. Shipping 30 round mags to states where they're banned. Wait, what is that going on now?
Thick boog line.
Oh.
Okay, so I saw this, but I didn't read it.
Okay. Sorry if I read it wrong. I didn't mean to. New Belgium is what I'm drinking tonight. It's a variety pack. This one's $15.54. It's kind of like a dark IPA,
Bonk.
Dave's been hitting up the discount beer place.
I'll tell you what, this nitro chocolate orange stout
Hi, Dottie.
has gone from $13 to $10, and they still have a few cases left.
Oh, nice. Definitely
I might have to make an investment.
Yeah, it's really good.
For a stout, $10 a case?
Mm-hmm. Seriously. Oh, Aaron digs the 1554. Yeah, thick boog line. Sorry if I said it wrong. I might have...
Hey, Matthew, thanks.
Hey, thank you. Oh my gosh, should I do it? I know I put it in the comments section, but I wanted to say congratulations to Chris because his wife had a baby today. Did I say that already? Because I meant to. Super exciting watching Liberty babies come into the world, and they're going to be, raised in a different kind of way, a little more open-minded about people's freedoms and, self-care and taking care of your own self and property and not being dependent on the government. So I'm really excited about that. How do y'all...
I mean, it's kind of long, but it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to read it, go ahead. Or are we
Thick
waiting
boog
for
line.
Beau? Oh, he said hi.
Yeah.
No, you've got to say hi back to Beau.
I did. Hold on.
Okay.
Your boys at the Thick Boog line would like to address an issue that has been weighing on us heavily since the day we started selling mags to our loyal fans and customers. The sale of mags to restrictive states. As a small startup, we were worried about the legal and civil ramifications of selling 30-round mags to customers in states that ban the possession, sale, import, or transfer of 30-round mags. As small as we were, we didn't think we could afford to take the risk of selling them to our customers in those states. We decided to sell only repair kits. Instead, disassembled 30-round mags labeled for legal use in those states. This stops today. In accordance with the principles we hold dear to us as gun rights extremists, we will be selling fully assembled mags to every state in the Union. Second Amendment infringement dickbags Attorney General in those states can tax this dick. Carry on, you glorious bastards, and don't give them one more inch. That is all.
Nice. I think I saw that today, and I know I kind of scrolled past. I didn't read it, sometimes I don't have time, so... but I'm glad. Thanks for bringing that to our attention.
That's fun, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Sometimes I see a picture with that many words, and I just kind of like, I'll get to it later.
Yeah. A lot
and
of times
I forget about it.
The kids are, yeah. Oh yeah, Celeste. So we were talking to Hannah last week,
Aaron,
and
Dottie,
she was
acknowledge your existence.
And she was talking about how she was she
What's up, Will?
she carried every day when she lived in Tennessee, and she moved to New York for her job.
Yeah.
And she's
you're not allowed to carry
yeah.
in New York. She's
yeah.
living out in Tennessee.
Carrying, yeah. And then she's in New York City.
Just like,
and,
who are we talking? Oh, I was watching this video.
Beau's ready when we are.
Disenthrall.
Yes.
And he's out and and Anarchapulco, and he's like, I've carried every day, you know, for however long, and now I have to get on a plane and go to Mexico, and I'm not allowed to carry. Mm-hmm. He's like, the time when you're traveling.
That's when you want to. Hey, Mike Harwood, what's going on?
In other words, buy their mags. I was looking. I get this income tax return. I mean, I'm doing the Dave Ramsey thing.
Oh, sure.
Check out Dave Ramsey because it's awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I could, you know, set aside a few $100s and get an AK because they're so fun to shoot.
Sure. Yeah, we have to, you know, make sure that we are ready for anything. Not that we're planning on wanting anything crazy. I'm not a big, like, I don't want the big igloo or big luau or whatever, just because, you know,
dude,
kids and family and everything.
Palmetto State Armory. We were just talking about that in our chat. I mean, some of the friends of the show.
3. There you go, Brandon.
That's the site I was going through when I was looking at AKs.
Isn't he though, Chris? Looking snazzy, looking real good. Yep.
Ooh. Hey.
Yeah. So what? Where am I? What?
TSA.
But yeah, congratulations again, Chris. I'm so excited. I love seeing everybody's pictures of their babies. You know, like. Yeah, Liberty babies. All right, we're going to bring Beau on here, but I want to say real quick, Brandon wants to know about what discount beer place are you going to get these things?
Oh, Erie Beer. On it's like 13th and Liberty or something like that. They have like this big garage door open and you just walk in there. Not the big one where all the back trucks
good, Donnie.
load
I'm
up.
glad you're over there now. Yep.
But next to that, you just walk in there and there's pallets of beer.
Oh.
And they'll have like cases for like $5, $10, $13. It's all like either out of season or close to expiration. Cash only. Make sure you bring cash with you.
Yeah. Yep.
Which makes me feel good about it. I feel like they're doing something wrong.
Chad brings up a great point.
Oh.
I'm ready for the luau so my son doesn't have to.
See, my kids are the biggest reason that it scares me.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we're going to bring Beau on right now. We're excited
let's do that.
Have a chat. We're going to be right back after this. Are you going to hit a button?
Well, let me get started.
Okay.
This always takes longer than I think it's going to.
I know, but I say by, you know, your name on there. But if you're okay with me just outright saying, this is Ben, everybody. It's Ben.
Ben's a total Chad.
Yeah, no, he's not.
But Chad's a good thing, right?
Is Chad? I don't know. I just remember seeing
Chad's like the buff guy. He's like
okay.
Total Chad.
Okay, well then you're a
What's
Chad.
up, Mike?
If you're if it's a good thing then.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Shillelagh says,
Mics are on.
Oh no, then he can't be a Chad.
Here we go, everybody.
Everybody, it's Beau Wright. Welcome to the show, Beau.
It didn't work. Damn it. Hold on a second.
Is it because that's open back there?
Nope, I know.
Oh, okay. Dave knows why. So.
You get to see our chat.
Also, everyone write in Rhett E. Boogie. Okay, Dave's going to bring your face up here in just a second, but you can hear us and we can hear you, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm just going to start asking you questions while Dave figures out. He got all the audio right. It's always like one or the other with Facebook sometimes. So I'm just going to ask you the memes. I have to, when did you get into memes? Because you are just pumping them out. Like, how many a day do you think? There's Beau. There's his face.
He's got the hat on, so we're all good.
Yeah.
I'm coming in kind of blurry, it looks like.
Yeah.
It's not bad on the small screen here, on our TV screen here. If you want to get closer to, oh, there you go. It looks like it's good now. How did the whole meme game start for you? You know, when?
Let's see. I think Well, I was doing the Facebook page for a restaurant that I was managing, and it was maybe, I want to say 2012
Oh,
maybe,
okay.
and I was using Microsoft Paint just to change what cartoon characters were saying, and have them talk about food or talk about the restaurant or whatever else, and it really worked. It really worked. So I just kept looking into it. I used tried out some different techniques, and found some apps. The apps didn't come until a little bit later, I don't think. I don't even think Beam Generator was around until,
So you're like ahead of the game.
I don't know.
Yeah, so you started way
Yeah.
back before I even knew what it was.
Or on Microsoft Word, you can insert an image and then do like a text box
Yeah.
over. Yeah. So
Wow, you were
that was
memeing
another
like
way.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how does it feel now? It's probably so much easier to just like boop boop and then type in what you want and
Yeah, it's much easier now, and new stuff every day. The new functions on the apps, new things you hear from people. I asked Dave the other day, what was it? Oh, the putting the image on and then changing making it transparent.
Oh yeah.
oh
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, taking out
To
the
make
opacity or whatever it's called.
Yeah. So you new stuff every day. It just keeps now the GIFs and the videos and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe you made a poster out of one of my memes. I'm so
I
honored.
did. Oh, I should have grabbed the poster.
Yeah.
Turn them up in my ears.
You might
for me
have
just
to
a
because
tiny
I
bit.
really.
Dave messaged me right away and he's like, Beau is about to like order a poster of this.
And then I'm like, oh, he's gonna see all the little dirty details that I didn't clean up.
He's like, I didn't even have my stylist
No, it was-
that day.
it was really good. It looked really good. I wouldn't have bought a custom poster of it if it wasn't good. So
Yeah,
Hey,
yes.
what's up,
don't worry about it.
Oh man. So you believe in the power of the meme then? I'm going to assume.
Well,
Yeah, are you trying to accomplish
It's-
something?
in the beginning, I guess just cheap laughs. I guess
Yeah.
attention. I don't know why does anyone, you know.
Yeah. Why is there so much ego in the game?
Well, that's who's attracted to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Who the people who want to be seen? They're people like me.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, do you? I mean, you feel like maybe that because is it the attention span of people, or is it just that those few little words can really plop into their brain with that image, and then it strikes
Well,
them
I
and they
mean,
share it?
A picture says 1,000 words, right? So
Yeah.
you have a picture, and then you can narrow that down or change the meaning, or you can say a lot more with a meme than you can with a
Yeah. Yeah.
an old school one sentence tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I swear I remember on Facebook when memes started popping up.
Yeah,
like
they
I swear
were
at a
at
point it was
first,
just
yeah.
all text, and then I'm like, why is everybody putting words on pictures?
Yeah. Maybe 2014 or 2015.
Yeah, probably.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And all
right
of
in
a
the
sudden,
beginning
like-
it
like-
wasn't.
Everybody's just putting words on pictures now. What is going on?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I was real late to the game.
I had no clue what it was.
I still
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
like the first.
Well,
meme
that's
that
when we
was-
got the apps.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so and everybody could do it then.
What
Yeah.
is your page? Johnny Smith wants to know your page. Do you just go by your
He
name?
just goes on his main profile,
Yeah,
which is
that's where I post now.
incredibly
mostly,
bold.
you know.
Most people hide behind a page. Like I used to like post all my political stuff on my Facebook page, and I'm like I could tell I was being irritating, so I'm like I'm just gonna make a page and I'm gonna post everything on there. Get it out of my system, and then just share a couple things
Well,
here and there.
How I first kind of came to want to do that is because sorry, the cat. Is when I don't know if you remember I think it was towards the beginning of LMPM, where the watermark deal.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that? You know,
yeah.
It's
so you know, I was going in on people for putting the watermarks on and making a big old whatever, and then it was a thing, and you know, so I just decided, why hide behind the page anymore? You know?
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
want
I
your
just
credit.
try to put myself on there, and you know, this is what I said. What I said is, why are you going to put a big, ugly mark, you know, right in the middle of this point you're trying to make? You know, this distracting object, you know, right there. And I never really. I thought there was a better way to put your signature on. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I would, you know, put something slightly out of place on purpose, or add a dot somewhere, or do something like that, so
Just
that I
for
could
your own
recognize
self.
it.
Yeah.
So you could follow
Yeah,
it.
so I could see it. Yeah, so I could, if it showed up somewhere, and then I just pop in the comment section. Oh, hey, I made this. You know, thanks. You know?
Yeah. Now your hat is a big deal.
So-
It's in a lot of memes.
Yeah,
a
which
lot of
is-
hats are memes.
Your hat.
Well, I
is-
mean, it works. You know,
I gotta go find
it
my
works.
hat.
How did the whole thing now? If people aren't familiar with the Sean Hatchie,
Oh yeah,
Beau Wright,
it's
Fraggle Rock
not.
thing,
But first of all, that's not a Trump hat.
that is not a Trump hat.
Because it's a little
Oh.
blurry. You might not be able to read it.
Let's just make sure that people
It
know.
says "Make District 1 dope again."
Yes.
So
Yep.
it's not.
So there's a battle between. I mean, I see like the two hats, Sean Hatchie's hat and your hat, in memes and stuff. But I do want to talk about though the whole thing with it's the kitty. Everyone's gonna be happy. Hold the cat up again. Hi.
People love kitties.
Yep.
Oh,
Aw.
cats always win the internet. Just hold that up the whole time. We're gonna get so many views.
Right. There's a cat in the live stream.
Given the choice, the internet will always choose cats.
I think so. Yeah.
I forgot to teach it a trick.
Oh.
They don't have to do anything.
That's okay. They just can be there.
If it can look angry, you're golden.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Now, okay, tell us about your hat and what that means and how all of that started for you, so people know what you're doing.
Okay, so the hat. Well, I'll start with the campaign. So I decided that I wanted to, you know, try to start up a campaign to run for Congress here in Colorado. You know, I'm setting my sights right now on District 1. You know, we're still in the planning stages. I was explaining the whole thing to Dave the other day.
Mm-hmm.
We're setting up budgets. We're getting donors lined up. You know, we're making. It's finally starting to kind of come together and really starting to plan and you know, make sure that we're doing everything properly. And you know, I'm going the other route. You know, I'm one of those guys that thinks that running for office is a thing that you can do to actually make a difference and
Change it from the inside.
you know.
Yeah.
I think it's possible, and I kind of understand, you know, the argument against it, and you know playing into the system, and I definitely understand those concepts. I just think that, you know, right now, if you know you live outside of town on your own property, you know, and you want to just disassociate yourself with, you know, society or you know the goings on of you know politics or current events, whatever else, you know, you're still affected by
politics
the decisions that are made.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And if you're going to sit there and, you know, it's one thing if you're, you know, actively planning some sort of, you know, military coup or something, you know, that's, you know, an action you can take, you know, it's just not an action that I can take.
Right.
Each their own.
I think and everyone's different, and they want to spread, you know, liberty.
I like the
every
admin's
way.
literary memes. Admin 1 always says, he's like, I will always support actions that lead to a more freer society, a more voluntarist society.
Yeah.
So if you want to do it from the inside, the outside, however you want to
Yep.
get us a little more free, we will support it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and today, you know, we have people like Donald Trump and AOC and these kind of characters that are kind of outlandish and maybe don't always have necessarily good ideas, but they get publicity and they're kind of, you know, almost, you know, fringe in how they, you know, are either on a particular issue or how they act in a particular situation. You know, so if I can stand out, you know, through memes, you know, hats, whatever else,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
like how you
You know,
started,
whatever else I
with
can
the
do.
hat.
Yeah.
We'll get all the groundwork laid. First, we got to get these hats out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's it. I mean, you know, name recognition.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, you
Um,
got it in our groups and our communities.
For sure. And you
Yeah,
know what?
and that's a good
Oh,
start. And
I
I'm
was
trying to, you know,
gonna
make
say about the hat,
connections,
yep.
you know, outside of that.
The hat is the first
Um,
thing I remember. I made a meme and I
made a meme.
posted it in the group. Was it you or me? One of us. Somebody made
No,
a
we-
meme though, but
I made one too, but it's probably the
okay.
same one.
But it was okay. Maybe it was you, or I don't remember though. But
Mine was with the billboard.
okay.
Have
Oh,
you-
and I remember that one.
Have you heard
yeah.
about Boo's?
oh,
Where's
yes,
my hat?
yes.
Yeah, where's the hat? Where's the hat?
Oh,
and I
that
was
was
like,
so
oh my gosh,
funny.
this guy Beau is like
Yes.
asking about his hat. Yeah, hi Dwayne.
And that's
hi,
before
Dwayne.
we knew anything about you.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, actually, I kind of
Yeah.
remember about something about you is that you recently started somewhere else than a lot of libertarians in our group have. You know, a lot of us come from the right Republican kind of area. Now, you came from the other side.
I did. I did, yeah. I was always, you know, what would you call it? A social libertarian, somebody that, you know, I never liked police. I never liked, you know, laws for the most part. I didn't appreciate, you know, the war on drugs, you know, but, you know, as a lot of leftists do now, you know, progressives, I guess you would call me a progressive. Back then,
Yeah.
I was a Bernie supporter, you know, 2015 into early 2016. Actually.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
all this time before that, making memes. So imagine, you know, my memes, but I'm memeing on the other side.
Oh my
you know,
gosh.
Ooh.
So was
Yeah.
was
The
that
left
was
could
that
meme?
I was gonna say was that
Yeah.
an instant where the left could be?
Yeah. Well,
one
I
time.
was the last one. That's what I say. That's my thing. I was the last good memer on the left, and when I left, it was over for them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Because I remember like with our
Well-
groups and everything, and like some of the guys I was hanging out with back then, and we're like looking into your profile and like, what's up with this dude? Why's he got a Bernie
Oh,
shirt
like
on?
he's got a Bernie shirt on. What's happening?
Like there was a little uproar.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Well, you know, I
made
was a Liberty
mistakes.
Memes fan. I was a Liberty Memes fan before I didn't fully come over until pretty recently, maybe 2 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, maybe like 2.5 years. That's it. You know, before that, you know, I was just a commenter on Liberty Memes,
Mhm.
and I would argue with people. I would argue with people about abortion a lot,
Mhm.
from the pro-choice angle. That's how I met Peter.
Oh yeah.
'Cause
Nice.
he would always get into those arguments. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And then, you know, we were all just trying to get our OC on the page, you know, so we just kept spamming
That
the
was
comment
it, man.
section.
Got like
Um,
600,000 people like, oh, my meme went up, bro.
Yeah.
So I would do all my ones that made sense kind of on both sides. Like if
Yeah.
it made fun of somebody like Hillary Clinton, or it made fun of, you know, Barack Obama for bombing, you know,
Yeah.
the Middle East or something like that, you know. So I would put those on there and try. And then the David Hogg situation happened. And that's when I really kind of, you know, got to know David a little bit more. You know, and we were, you know, I made a lot of David Hogg memes, so I got a lot of David Hogg memes on Liberty Memes.
Do you have a collection of your memes? Do you have them saved somewhere? Like every one that you've ever made?
Or are they just kind of everywhere?
Not, they're kind of spread out. I mean, I've had a couple of phones, you know, get lost or
That was fun.
Yeah.
deleted or whatever else. Yeah. You know, and obviously now it's a little bit easier. You got the smart switch and on the Android and all that kind of thing. So,
Yeah. I know
But
when Dave
I
wants to
have-
share something, he has to scroll through forever and ever and ever and ever and ever to find something from like a couple
Yeah.
months ago, you know?
And then
like,
I'm sad and I'm like, oh,
Wait.
that was the last phone.
he has no idea. No, I have.
I can't even imagine.
It was.
No,
it was-
I have about 10,000 on a OneDrive, and then I have right now on my phone I have I'll tell you exactly how many I have. It's I have 23,598 images in my gallery on my phone.
Wow.
Isn't that insane?
Dude.
What a weird timeline we're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome though. It's pretty cool. Like, Mike Harwood, he always wants to know this, and I rarely ever ask because we all know each other here. Who's your favorite
Liberty
Memes admin, and why is it admin number 3?
Well, I mean, without a doubt, it's Mike Harwood.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
that's just how it
He's the one
is.
in the background pulling the strings.
With a wig on.
No, I love all those guys. I don't know. I don't talk to Peter very often. I don't, outside of like commenting on posts and
I don't
stuff.
think
I
anyone
talk
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I talk to David pretty frequently. I talk, Mike's on my page, and
Yeah.
I'm on his page all the time.
Yep. I love it though.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
so-
it really helped me to, kind of make that transition, because I was always kind of, libertarian in a lot of senses, but there was always the contradiction of, you hate police and you don't want to have police and you want to have this and this. You're completely ignoring the fact that you need police to collect taxes. At the end of the day, you have to have some sort of law enforcement to come and force somebody to pay those taxes.
Force them
and,
to.
And anytime you just allow that in society where, people are just roaming around the streets looking for trouble, it's just not good. It's always going to get out of hand every time. It always does every time. So
now, do you have a vision as far as, I mean, there's people who are like the big luau, let's just get this over with and start over. And then there's folks who say, like, let's go infiltrate, by like, and I mean that in a way that, like, let me run and get in there and try to change things. What is your vision for what you're running for, what you're doing for the people? Like, what is that? What are you hoping to do? To accomplish. If you're allowed or want to talk about that right now.
Well, I think it's really simple, and to sit here and think that I'm gonna, change everything by myself and make it's gonna be Ancapistan day one. You know what I mean? Like that's just not a thing that's reasonable to say. But every, however often it is, whenever a bill gets put up.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day, that's your job. Your job is to vote on bills. So how are you going to vote on the bills?
Yep.
And if it's something that hurts, takes away from your liberty, takes away from your freedom, that's not something that we need to have. If it's something that means we have to pay more, or if we need to be taking things off the books. We have too much, too many. I mean, we set up this very simple system 250 years ago, and ever since then, it's just every day they add a new law, they add a new,
and they never take them away. Yeah.
No, they never take them away.
It's too complicated.
It is.
And you just can't please everyone. People can't cooperate on that large of a scale. I don't believe. I think it's as simple as that. I think that, my goal is to bring control as local as I possibly can. Of course, me personally, I would like that control to be your family, and that's it.
Yeah.
And
individual.
Yeah, or somebody else you might want to team up with, but you have an entire state of people. I live here in Colorado. We have the Denver metro area with a few million people, and the rest of the state is, outside of Colorado Springs and Fort Collins, the rest of the state is rural. We're farmers, small towns, out in the country.
Yep.
So why you can't have the system set up the same way for those two groups of people. It just doesn't make sense. That's the classic fight. Hamilton and on one side, Jefferson on the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. John Jay had asked this, and I'm afraid if he's going to be stepping out. I don't know. He's excited to come by and support you here. He said to ask you about Bloomberg, and I'm kind of nervous. Like, should I ask you about Bloomberg or not? This was earlier, and I put it away in my mind, and now I'm bringing it up. So.
Oh.
How can anybody support?
I don't know. I'm not. Well, I don't. He said that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, I had sent him a meme earlier, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. So.
Oh, okay. Thanks, John Jay. I super appreciate that.
I think just as like a billionaire old white
Right,
guy, how is that appealing to his side though?
I know.
Oh, it would be a terrible idea on their part.
Yeah.
But I mean, the only people who will vote are consistently are old people, especially old white people. You can always count on them. Young people, they talk about voting, but then they sleep in or they do something else, or they have to work and they don't want to leave.
Yeah, right.
Because all the old white people are on
are.
Facebook, and these are the people we're trying to influence with our memes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, my daughter's 13. She says Facebook is for boomers.
Yeah.
She doesn't care about it.
Yeah, they're on Snapchat and stuff like that.
Or onto something I haven't even heard of yet.
They're probably beyond that because I know what Snapchat is, so they're doing something else.
Yeah, well, we'll find out about it 5 years from now. So. Be like, hey, you want to check this thing out?
Yeah, Snapchat, TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured out most of them. Snapchat,
Yeah.
I can't groove with.
Sorry,
Like, I don't know what to
LNN.
do with that.
John, we're going to pull up a podium for you to apologize. You can go ahead and come on. We'll have Dave make a podium.
I got some podiums.
Oh, man. Do you,
I didn't think John was going to make it.
Oh, he's here.
Oh, yeah,
yeah. Yep. He's here
That's
hanging
wonderful.
out. Yep.
Now that's
Thank you
another...
for coming, John.
Oh, I don't want to talk about people and pages, so.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yep. No page names, right? Let me ask about.
John is one of the best right there.
Yeah.
John is one of the best
That's
that
so
exists in the entirety of the internet.
Wow.
great. Wow.
No, I'm everywhere. I see. I mean, it's not any better anywhere else.
Yeah. Hi,
I
John.
mean, you think the mean that they have some sort of secret on 4chan that we don't know about? No.
I
They're just
actually
talking about different things.
I logged on to 4chan for the first time the other day. I mean, I think I've seen
Didn't
it
we log
before.
in that day
Yeah, and
that
I
we-
couldn't figure it out. So I was at work the other day and it was kind of slow, and I'm just like, let me try to figure this thing out.
I can't figure it out. Do you go on 4chan?
I think it's very archaic. Like it's
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. What?
it's just a message
things-
board and threads.
Yeah.
Who-
Are things born
Who
there?
do you? The weirdos they talk about on CNN, the
Oh, yeah.
scary weirdos on 4chan. Who do you think they are? That's me.
Oh man.
Wait a minute, were you calling the polling lines in Iowa? Or, or not, well, no, Iowa.
No, I have a software program for that. What are you talking about?
That was
Not
what
me
I brought up the
personally.
other day. I just
I have an
posted the
automatic
number.
dialer for that.
There you go. What's your take on that whole fiasco there, and how they claim that
Am I right? Was that Iowa?
Bernie
No, it's
won,
not
and
Iowa.
then,
It's somewhere in New England, ain't it?
Well, no, Dadman was just up in New Hampshire.
But
for
before
that
that,
one. No, I think it was Iowa, but I
it
could
Iowa?
be. I could
Is
be.
it
wrong.
Yeah, the one where they had the issues and the delays and the results and
yeah.
that was Iowa.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, New Hampshire. Yeah, New Hampshire went fine. It went normal as far as I know.
There were no glitches and.
Yeah, no, it's definitely very suspicious. I mean, it almost seems like it like
Very suspicious.
I don't know, like you're running a race and then you're like almost at the finish line and you see that you're about to lose, so you like start screaming and flailing your arms around.
And throwing
It felt
it
very-
across
like
the room.
that.
And
It felt very.
Yeah.
we lost the finish line. We can't find it.
Oh
We're
crap!
gonna
Like
need a
start
minute to
shooting a pistol off in the air or something,
Yeah.
and like everyone's like diving under their chair and
Who am I thinking about? The whole Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding. It felt very Tanya Harding of me. When people are like, they know they're about to lose and they're just like, my shoelace
take
is
the leg.
untied. Yeah, like they smashed her knee, and then when she went to skate at the Olympics, she's like skating and she's like, my lace is untied. My lace is untied. You
forgot
know,
all
and I
about
was
the
just like,
laces.
you know
Bitch,
one thing
like
that
you were
really
out
bothered
there.
me about that it was very sad, and her sitting there crying, and it was very sad. But one thing that was kind of messed up is it kind of took away from what was the Asian girl? What was her name?
Oh yeah,
the one that won
Yamaguchi.
that year. Yeah, that one. So
Dave's like Christy Yamaguchi.
because everyone was like acting like she was gonna win, and she was clearly the second best in that crowd, maybe.
Yeah.
And Tanya Harding wasn't even close. She was the worst of all of them.
Yeah,
and it made no sense.
She just went out like with the whole knee, like taking Nancy out, but then just
take a knee.
Yeah, take a knee. But I remember.
Why did they need two dudes to do it? That was weird too.
Figure skaters are small.
Yeah. I don't know. They might run fast. It's probably hard to ice skate like that.
But if she still has her skates on when she's walking off, she's not running anywhere.
But it's
I think she was walking. I think she was walking into the facility.
Oh, was that how it went? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm say
sure.
how old I was.
Quite...
Oh, hi. Hey, it's T Silver. Thank you. I just want to say how old I was when that happened. I was in 8th grade. So I was 14, 13, 14 probably, and it was, but I'm just like, that was so long ago. Shit, I'm old. Beau's like, yep. You are. I gotta ask though, real quick. Aaron Kenner wants to know about the Snopes. How do you like? I don't know. I just saw Snopes and Beau Wright. Don't set me up, you guys. Fact checking with Snopes.
Yeah, no, Snopes is just terrible. I don't know. I've been on a couple of tears on them over the years.
Yeah.
They're owned by the same people that fund the Hillary Clinton campaign, and
wow,
it's just fake. All of it's fake. It's really bad if you really look through what they're saying and you just analyze it. Like, you see the psychological tricks they're trying to play and how they're twisting the words around. Or what was the good example? The KKK was not started by the Democratic Party. And it's like, well, nobody said that. They just said that they were all Democrats. All those dudes wearing hoods happened to be Democrats. Like, that's what we were saying.
Yeah.
We weren't saying that the party like officially started like a subsidiary or another organization under the same umbrella or something like that. They twist things.
I always thought Snopes was just for like fact checking if baking soda should be mixed with this or that. Like,
no, they went full political.
Well, I mean, these people plan, far in advance. Far in advance, decades in advance. So they to think that they would start a company and do only stuff like that for a year just to knowing that they're gonna start kind of popping in with other things later on. I mean, that's not outside of the realm of possibility.
That was my ultimate conspiracy theory during 2012 when like Ron Paul was getting kind of hot, like before they shut him down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what if this is another conspiracy? What if this guy has been voting, with his conscience his whole entire life just to get everybody all worked up and get into office and then just, I don't know.
Lots of foil.
But that was when I was fresh to realizing that everything's a lie. And I was just like, when I realized everything's a lie and I started questioning everything, like everything.
Yeah. Everything. Are you into conspiracies at all?
Yes, absolutely. So I started on conspiracies back in 2008, watching YouTube videos about 9/11. And then that just kind of so 2000 so about 2008, and I mean we talked conspiracies before that, but they were like normie conspiracies, like Cheney wanted oil money, and it's like, okay, whatever, sure, Big Cheney hired some Arab dudes to fly some planes into the World Trade Center. I don't think so. He was an opportunist, but to think that George Bush was orchestrating this, something like that is absurd. So anyway, yeah, I started getting into that stuff, and I really was, trying to push it hard on social media and things like that. And um, we, what was the next one? Sandy Hook.
Mm-hmm.
Sandy Hook. So and that was what, 2011, I believe.
Okay, yeah, that was after David was born. So I have to go by year. Like, when was my kid born? When was my next kid born? Okay, in between there, yeah.
Yeah, so Sandy Hook, that one, really, there were a lot of unanswered questions and a lot of weird things going on there. And now, years later, looking back and seeing how they've treated Alex Jones for, barely mentioning it.
Yeah.
No, did he barely
really,
mention it,
really
or
makes
did he straight out deny it?
Well, he kind of goes on tangents sometimes, and he was there is definitely some evidence out there that suggests that there are, crisis actors. Yeah. So, he's kind of, realizing this, and it's freaking him out, and he's got all this stuff going on. And then all of a sudden this thing happens, and there's a lot of unanswered questions right off the bat, so he's throwing it out there. Like, they're doing it again, guys. Like, you got to send money, you gotta keep me on the air.
I need some funding here. Right. I am once
Which
again.
I can appreciate. I love Alex Jones. I need
He's to watch
great.
More, because he seems very entertaining at least.
Yeah, at the very least.
Oh,
you're gonna be entertained.
And it does seem like he has a lot of information.
Well, that was another thing. So when I got into the 9/11 side, this is around 2008. That's when I saw the Bohemian Grove stuff that he did, the hour-and-a-half documentary thing, and he goes out there and sneaks in and all that, and it just blew my mind. And from that point forward, I questioned everything that happened. Everything that happened. You can go back to when Sandy Hook happened, and I'm all the content's probably removed by now. But
yeah.
I was trying, that's for sure.
Yes,
there's a lot of.
What was the other? Oh, so then after that, after kind of the Sandy Hook stuff kind of died down, that was when we started looking into like the Epstein stuff, and this is a long time ago. This is like maybe 20.
Wait, looking into the Epstein?
Yeah, like this is like 2013.
Wow.
This is like 2013, and so we find out about the Epstein stuff, so we're looking into that, and then maybe late 2014 into 2015, that's when we started making connections to some of the people that are involved in politics, and started making these connections with the guy that owned the pizza shop. I won't say his name.
Yeah.
I know we're on YouTube, so.
Okay, so did that start the Pizzagate thing? Is that what that was all about? I remember hearing about it, but I didn't know his name at the time.
I don't know.
So then,
I'm ignorant enough to just say things. So the Comet Pizza thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean it's really epic. I mean, and when you go through it, you guys should really all look up. It's hard to find. Go on an internet browser. Don't look for it in YouTube because it's kind of hard to find. They have to keep re-uploading it, but it's Kill Room. #KillRoom, Pizzagate something or other, but it's #KillRoom documentary.
I'm gonna promote.
If you Google that,
I'm gonna promote a past guest that we had on, and he has a video browsing service called PDVid, which isn't like YouTube. It just goes through all these different video suppliers or whatever and searches them, and it'll actually bring up things that have been deleted and things that are still saved but not they're not listed anymore.
Yeah.
And things like that. So PDVid might be a good resource for looking up stuff
wow.
like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I could find all my old 9/11 things and all that.
They might be on there.
Yeah.
What was his name?
I can tag Sonny Minifee in those, because he's...
Yeah. Check out our YouTube history. It was a few weeks ago. I can't think of his name right now. Craig. But he developed an app or a website called PDVid, and it searches.
He works still
without all the algorithms and stuff like that.
A ton of hours into it just to make it so that what you type in is what you get back, not what YouTube thinks you should get back. Or the most popular thing to get back but what you actually are searching for, kind of thing. So
it's so important right now. It's so important.
it is.
And you know, sometimes I get stuck in the Facebook thing, and I just stay on Facebook because it's convenient and everyone's here, and
I know.
distracting.
you know,
It is
and
distracting.
YouTube because it's easy, you know, and
Oh, yeah,
and,
sure.
It's
and,
intuitive. They've
and Michael Stevens is there, and
hey, Vsauce.
Now, okay, so are you anywhere else do you have any other platforms that you're on, and what do you feel about Facebook and their whole censorship deal?
Is it worse than other ones?
Yeah, what's
well, I can't remember who it was, but somebody pointed out to me that, you know, they were like, well, when did you start getting banned? Because I would always talk about how I was immune. I was immune for years. I did all kinds of crazy shit for years and years and years.
Yeah. And then
And like I always thought like maybe it's because now I'm coming from, you know, the bottom right instead of the bottom left, and
yeah.
you know, maybe that's part of it. You know, maybe the algorithms are getting smarter. But I didn't actually start getting banned until I authorized my Make District 1 Dope Again Facebook page to do political ads. Like for me to have authorization to purchase ads for a political campaign, which you can't do unless you verify your address, so they send a letter to your house. And,
oh my gosh. Wow.
yeah, I had to do like the front and back of my ID and send that to
wow, I've never gone that far.
Send that to them. Yeah, it was a process that took about a month.
And now and then you started to see yourself getting banned
within I want to say just under a month after that I got the first ban on this account. Now I'd had alts before that had wacky names or whatever that I ran pages from, and they had gotten sucked in the pages, but you know, it was wild stuff. I would never be able to get away with any of the stuff I was doing on that one. But on this account, you know, because I had it for, you know, since the beginning of like February of 2011, and or the old account, the other account. I made this one in 2016, but I had been consistently, you know, posting. So I guess I thought maybe it knew I was a normal person, and
right.
You know, that I'm not a robot or something like that. But it was really after that authorization that it really kicked in. It's evil. I mean, that's what they're doing. They're controlling information. They're trying to control information. That's why those websites are important. You know, like the one you're talking about that your friend made there, and you know, all these different social media platforms, and you know, Float. I wanted to definitely, you know, mention them.
Sounds familiar.
You know,
Yes.
to people.
Talk about that.
Float. It's a social media.
Oh, you guys
it's a
went
social
there
media app.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember. Okay.
Yeah, and Sean Hatchie went over there and was keeping me company, and there's Free Thought Project is over there, Police the Police is over there, you know, so there's some people over there.
Are you still active? Are people doing things over there just in hopes that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm keeping it there. I need to check in on it more, but
it's hard to check in on
so
all
many different
of
platforms.
Yeah. Do you think there could ever be a Facebook type platform that is actually free speech?
It'd be like 4chan.
I mean, I don't know.
I suppose what I would suggest if I was sitting there on the board of directors at Facebook is I would say, you know, we're assuming too much liability by doing this. We're rocking the boat. Everyone's talking about it. Why don't we just, you know, you don't even have to raise the age to 18. You just have to you maybe have the groups be 18 and up. Or so you could make a group like 18 and up, like it won't accept you unless you're 18 and up. So then you could have like a LM dark or whatever.
Right.
And,
yeah.
You know, it would just be everyone's 18 and up. So it's just everything goes there. I think that would be the good first step, and then try to work into eventually. I mean, if there's something bad enough going on, then they can call the cops. They can take a screenshot and bring it to the police and be like, hey, they're doing this or they're doing that. If it's that bad, but what they're out there, deciding whether or not like there's somebody getting paid like $13 an hour in a call center in Arizona, who's just seeing all this like awful crap all day. And then they come to like some snarky, bullshit that I said, or something, about a category she fits into or something. And then,
Yeah.
30 days, that's how is that sustainable? What are we going to do when there's 10 billion people on the planet? We're going to have just massive, cubicles, warehouses, just cubicles from wall to wall of, people like controlling information individually.
That's what they will.
Doesn't make sense.
That's their dream.
Yeah, I feel like that they could just solve all their problems with a disclaimer. Like, you're gonna see some stuff. Some of it's gonna be lies. Some of it's gonna be nasty. Enter at your own risk.
Yeah,
and then
at your own risk. Govern yourself. Yeah, govern yourself. If you don't like it, scroll past it or whatever. Just keep.
That's me. That's me hiring somebody for the restaurant. There'll be some harsh language. It's gonna be. It might be loud. There might be some offensive music.
Sure.
By entering, you consent.
Yep. Now, what
people might be
restaurant-
yelling and screaming at you, or
Yeah. What restaurant did you work for? Are you allowed to say?
Or what kind of restaurant?
I've worked at a lot of different restaurants. I've done Italian. I've done Italian, Mexican. I did a whole Italian menu. I did an entire Mexican food menu.
So are you a chef then? Are you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh my God.
I didn't go to school. It was something that I set out to learn from a very young age. I was sitting there at 13 years old, knowing that I wanted to, be a chef or be a restaurant manager, or maybe one day own a restaurant. Like that's what I was thinking about when I was 13. I knew what I wanted to do.
That's a rough industry.
Yeah, it's tough, but
you got to be tough. Yeah.
I dropped out at 15. I went to go, be a dishwasher, and
that's us. We met at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I went from dishwasher to shift manager and
cook.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was hostess, waitress. Yeah.
Nice.
And Dave cut
nice.
little hearts,
it's
like little pickles out of heart, or little hearts out of pickles. Little pickles out of hearts. Oh my gosh.
No, I just cut the hearts.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but I remember, it's cutthroat.
It is.
The overhead and the payroll, and it's like you got close to 40 hours, they're kicking you out. It's like, don't worry about your cleanup, just get out of here. I can't afford any of your benefits.
Or if there's not enough customers coming in, and they'd just be walking around, payroll numbers. Yeah. Who wants to go home? And I'm like, but I'm just trying to make money.
But and also,
we run pretty tight. It's tough. Wages are high in Colorado, and food is. The overhead is just ridiculous.
We have a cutthroat just restaurant environment here. It's like I think we're like a test.
I don't know
whatever.
What we are.
Like we get like all kinds of restaurants come in and go and come and go. And they're all over the place. So it's like people have a lot of choices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, the economy's doing really good right now, especially in Colorado. I mean, if the national, whatever the national unemployment rate, we're 60% of that here. So,
okay.
Sales are good. I feel like sales are good. They keep going up every year. The hardest part is hiring employees.
Yeah.
Is finding people to work. It's
reliable people.
Well, that was a nice thing about here, because like if I didn't like my job, I'd be like, screw you, I'm out. I'm going to go get a job today down the road.
Yeah.
Well,
so what is it
because
about finding people that's hard? What makes that difficult?
People don't want to work.
Yeah, just getting people to apply.
Okay.
We're
really?
not. Yeah, where we're located, there's not really any. There's like an industrial area kind of around it,
Okay.
and there's not like apartment complexes or a neighborhood right next door that we're
Okay.
getting the neighborhood
Yeah.
people or whatever else. There's no one that lives really within walking distance of where
And
the
is that
restaurant
important?
is. So
And where you are then, is it being within walking distance or a bike ride? Something.
it definitely helps. It definitely helps.
Okay.
The thing is when there's jobs everywhere, people just go wherever's convenient.
Yeah.
So if there's 10 restaurants between their house and me,
Yeah. They're not going
it's a
to
hard sell.
make it all the
Some
way.
first
Yeah.
world
Yeah.
problems right here.
Right. Now what is okay?
Oh,
So
and because of the company that I work for, we have to do background checks and
oh
pre-employment drug screen.
Yeah, you got to pee in a cup.
Yeah,
Wait,
you got to
why?
be in a cup.
Given
do
the
you-
choice, I'd rather not be in a cup.
but yeah, why? Okay, wait. Why do you have to pee in a cup if you're not like around drugs?
It's
it's
just
Colorado.
it's a flat company policy. The company that I work for is a larger company that has operations that go further beyond just the restaurant portion of it. So
Okay.
That's what I kind of wondered about if it was legalized.
there's a lot of big dollar things that are happening, within the company, particularly in the other division of our company.
Yeah.
So it's probably just for insurance liability. I'm
Yeah.
not quite sure.
Now you are,
But-
I mean, in that state, the whole state allowed to
recreational.
recreationally use the marijuanas.
You're allowed to inject.
You can inject
Yeah, and
marijuanas. Do they drug test for that, or are they looking for stuff like other things like heroin or like meth or something? You're not allowed to say. It's okay. It's okay. I just wondered because if it's legal in the state, but is this, like?
Well, I'll tell you
but it's
this:
not
if you
really
can't,
legal.
if you're forewarned that you need to pee in a cup and you can't figure out how to make it work, then
Yeah. I did.
maybe you're not clever enough to work for me. Then
Yeah, I did. I'm going to tell you a story really, really fast. I applied to a pharmacy. I was like 19, and my cousin was like, "You should work at the pharmacy," and I'm like, "Okay, that's a great idea." Like, sure, yeah, it's close to my house, whatever. And duh, Mary, you're working around all of these drugs. Of course, they're gonna make you pee in a cup, and all I'm worried about is my little bit of weed consumption, or a lot of weed consumption, but still. So I was so scared that they were gonna like flag me or like tell my parents.
That's the real worry.
That is, yeah. Like, why didn't you get that job? Like, I just wasn't a good fit, But so I'm just downing all this water. Like people
doing
are like
shots of vinegar and
do
stuff.
shots of vinegar,
We're on
do
the
this, do that.
internet.
No, that was '99. We weren't on the internet then.
Where were we getting our information from?
Your cousin Joey. So, but anyway, so finally I told my mom, because my mom was like, why? I was living at home, and she's like, why are you going to the bathroom like every 15 minutes? Like, you're going to the bathroom every 15 minutes. And I kept filling up this huge jug of water, and I told her, and she's like, oh my gosh. But she was so cool with it. But I think when I went, I think I peed water. Like, I really think I do. I passed. I got the job. I wasn't doing anything hard or crazy, or I wasn't trying to take their drugs, but it was just a little bit of weed that was going to keep me from that job.
Making some money.
I personally think it's ridiculous to drug test someone for marijuana for a job. I think
Right.
that's ridiculous. I think it's absurd. You don't test people for alcohol.
Right. And marijuana.
And I've
stays in your
I've
system.
had way more people call in sick from alcohol than from smoking weed. I'll tell you that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
In fact, I don't think I've ever had, in all these years, I don't think I've ever had an employee call in because they were like too stoned or they were too hungover from smoking too much weed the previous day. But they've definitely called and said that they were fucked up and had like way too much liquor the day before.
I'm still drunk, bro.
Like, seriously,
and
cannot
restaurant
function.
employees are so honest about that
I'll
shit.
come, but I'm still drunk. I hope I don't hurt myself. Okay, just stay home.
Yeah. I'm going to drive there, but you guys know that I'm still drunk. Yeah.
That was the worst thing. Like, I was a shift manager for a little while, and my cook's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go out back and smoke some weed." And I'm like, "Don't fucking tell me." I'm trying to be professional here.
Right.
Just
yeah.
go.
So.
Oh man, we did a lot worse than that on shift. I'll tell you that
shift.
back in the day.
I remember the one waiter. He's like, "I'm tripping my balls off right now," and he's out there waiting tables. I'm like, "That's got to be amazing."
I don't even know how you can wait on a tape. I don't know how you can go into work on acid. Like that would be.
No,
I've been on everything at work at some point or another.
Yeah. So okay, and I think it was Aaron who mentioned this.
Of course, not anymore. Just to clarify,
right?
This was
right.
a long time ago.
Of course.
Yeah, same with us.
A long time ago.
I miss weed so much.
Yeah.
I haven't touched it in so long, but I'd rather do that than drink beers.
Yeah.
But this is what keeps my job, so.
Yeah, because if he smokes the marijuanas
like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it'll be still in the system, but yet cocaine will be out in like 2 days.
So why don't you just keep a bottle of Quick Fix in your work truck or your office or your backpack or wherever you work from?
Because I'm not that clever person that you were talking about.
Like they come with those hand warmers, and you open them up, and then you put them on your hand, and they get hot. So then you just put that in there, and it warms it up.
What?
And you're literally always ready to take. If we don't really have that situation. I've never been in a situation like that, so
yeah.
I don't know, but I know that that's definitely a thing.
Wow.
I never looked into it, but I assume that technology has gotten better since. Like the last time I applied for a job, which was 17 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even remember having hand warmers like that are as good as they are now. Did they? Did they have them then? I don't know.
I don't know. So okay, I have to say this because this is
Celeste
said one time another cook ate a customer's breast milk baby food mix.
No. If you're gonna eat if you're gonna eat food at a restaurant, you're gonna get fresh out of the. Like, I remember when I first started...
Hi, Robert. Welcome to the show.
When I first started at Eaton Park, which is, like, in between, like, McDonald's and, like, a real restaurant.
Yeah.
But I was training in the kitchen, and I thought that, like, a full chicken finger basket came with 6 fingers, but apparently it came with 5, and the guy on the board ate the 6th one every single time somebody ordered one. But I always throw down 6, because that's what he told me.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Okay, so, we like to talk about food, and then we'll get into other serious things. But I have to ask, like, what's your favorite food? Or favorite, type of food, I would say?
I always struggle with this question. People ask me this all the time. I was just struggling with this, 2 days ago? I have no idea. I mean, it just depends on the mood. You know what I mean? I love Italian food. I love cooking Italian food, making Italian food. Seeking out, really good ingredients, new things to try.
Are you an adventure eater then? Are you adventurous? Like you'll try anything food?
I mean, I'm not, unfortunately, I'm a little narrow in the food that I eat, in the way that I'm not going to be eating bugs. I'm not going to be eating, like really outlandish stuff like that. I'm not going to seek out squirrel or something like that.
Yeah. Now, what about spices? Are you into like spicy food, hot stuff?
I do like spicy food.
Yeah.
I do. I like really, and it's interesting with spicy food because I've been cooking, for my daughter. My daughter, she only lived with me part-time before. She lives with me full-time now. That's been about two years now. And I just find myself eating a lot less spicy food because
nobody else wants
a 13-year-old girl. Yeah, nobody else wants it. So I find myself more sensitive to the spicy food. because it kills the little things on your tongue.
Oh, does it?
And so you build. That's how you have a tolerance.
You just build a
because
tolerance.
It's just deadening those nerves or whatever it is.
That's how that guy does it on the hot ones.
And it lasts about 2 weeks. So if you train yourself and you just work yourself up, yeah, you can. That's how they would accomplish those, spicy wing challenge or whatever else.
Do you ever watch the hot ones on YouTube?
I do. We actually had somebody come to our restaurant and do our food challenge.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I need to find the video. I'm gonna find the video and I'll share it and I'll show you guys. But it's like 9 pounds of food or something like that, and they have to eat it in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it maybe 10 years or whatever it is, and there had been only 2 people that had gotten it. And then this guy came in and he did it, and he's got like a YouTube channel, and I can't remember his name though. He's got a YouTube channel. He goes all around the country and does all these food challenges, and he just crushed it like it was nothing. Yeah. Dude,
find it, please. Share it to LLN community so that we can see it, because I would love to.
For sure.
Yeah. Are you a pizza fan? Or do you enjoy a certain style of pizza? We've talked to people before about the kinds of pizzas that they like, if it's New York or deep dish or just a shell kind of, like Dave really likes Valerio's, which is local to us, and it's just
good
a
sauce,
normal
but I think it's a shell.
I think it's just a shell pizza, but they put their sauce on. He loves their sauce, is what it is. Do you have a specific type of pizza that you like, or you're dabbing on people? You're dabbing.
Sorry, responding to comments.
That's okay. No, that's fine.
No, I'm a chef. Of course, I have very strong opinions on pizza. I'm not one of those people that likes to get caught up in labels. And what tastes better and what doesn't. Taste better.
But I mean, there's a very big difference between deep dish.
Well, I saw this one.
I was at I was a chef, kitchen manager for an upscale restaurant here downtown Denver that did Italian food and Neapolitan style pizza. And we were using the best of the best. We were using a special stand mixer. Like a $5,000 stand mixer that we had shipped in from Italy. Because the stand mixers, they come in from the top, and then they spin around. But this one, it came in through the side, and it was like this, and it went in, and then it turned, and it rotated around, So it's turning here, and it's turning over here, and it was really cool. So. Wow. We got special flour, finely ground flour from Turkey, whole Parmigiano Reggiano wheels, whole Grand Cru wheels, Pecorino Romano, all from Italy, prosciutto di Parma, San Marzano's. That restaurant is the reason why we can order San Marzano tomatoes from U.S. Foods, a national food distribution company.
Wow.
Because they didn't used to keep it in stock before, but we got them to do it. So it's wonderful. I mean, that's a lot different than.
Because I got to pee anyways.
Me too. Sorry, Dave got a thing. Andy message said, "Is someone at your door?"
tell me if you're fucking with me. I got to pee anyways. So
He's got to pee anyways. So go ahead.
I hope Andy isn't at your house.
I want. There's so many things I want to delve into, like.
But I like all pizza. I'm not really a big fan of the deep dish or the Chicago style or those kind of things. I would rather have there's a place out here, Benny Blanco's. They do a pretty good imitation of a New York slice.
Okay, that's what I want. Some New York style pizza. Yeah.
I lived in New Jersey for a couple of years when I was younger. I spent my summers out there through middle school and high school. So I know a little bit of the East Coast. I've visited a couple of places over there. And
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in I lived. It was all.
Sorry, that was for Ninja Cat. Sorry.
I lived in New Jersey when I was younger. I think I was born here in Colorado Springs.
Okay.
But then we moved out right away. I basically grew up in Boulder. That's what I call my hometown, Boulder,
Okay.
Colorado,
Yeah.
which is just west of Denver, right up against the mountains.
I've never been. I've never ever been out there. I heard it's beautiful. I mean, I have a friend who moved out there from here because she's like, I just need to get the hell out of here. And so she went to Denver, and I tell you what, it's been years. I mean, years, over 10 years probably, but it has been wonderful for her because people are more open. You know, she's a massage therapist. She's way into natural things. Like she just, and it has been
Nice.
wonderful for her. Yeah. Yep.
It's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect for that kind of mindset
Yeah.
out here.
Now, what about the whole like breathing thing? Because you're way up, you know, and I'm afraid to like go and then like feel like short of breath there because it's high up.
Well, you know, I of course don't notice it. I mean, some people with like particular health conditions, they can have some issues.
Oh, okay, but it's not
but-
noticeable. Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Some people, if you're sensitive,
Yeah.
maybe if you have respiratory conditions or
No.
something, maybe.
No, I'm just anxious. So.
I mean, yeah, like if you come up here and try to run a marathon, yes, it's going to be more difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's just if I notice anything different, I'm just like, what's that? That's just anxiety. So. Mike said that.
Well,
his
see,
friend-
you'd have a psychological
exactly
reaction.
I would have a
You'd come here
psychological-
and you'd be worried about being short of breath, and then you would feel yourself getting short of breath, and then you'd panic and hyperventilate.
Exactly. I do that here. I do that right here. Mike
But the
wants
air's
to know.
thinner. The air's thinner though, so you wouldn't hyperventilate as quickly.
Oh, okay. Oh, not as quickly. Okay. Oh wait, I have a.
believe.
Mike wants to know if you're near Durango. Durango? He just had a friend message.
No,
him.
Durango's very far.
Okay.
Durango's
It's far.
8. Yeah, it's really, really far. I don't even know how far. I would take a
Okay.
plane there. I wouldn't even drive.
Celeste. Okay, now Celeste is a baker, so she says Colorado and their high altitude baking.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a thing. That's absolutely a thing.
See, is it though? I mean, I see the directions.
I'm gonna
on things, and it's like-
explain high altitude baking. Okay, this is the
please.
problem with high altitude baking. So when you're baking something, let's just start with a we'll do a cake.
Okay.
So you're baking a cake. So what's in the cake? You have starch, liquid, egg, oil or butter or something like that. So and leavening agents. So you have like baking soda or baking powder, those kind of things to create gas inside to create pockets of air. Okay, so then what's holding the pockets of air? The flour and the structure, that's holding those pockets of air. So the temperature and the steam. So at a high altitude, the atmospheric pressure is less than it is at sea level. So what that means is that water boils at a lower temperature. Water steams at a lower temperature.
I didn't know that. What?
Yeah. So your water boils at 212, whereas mine's going to start boiling a few degrees cooler than that.
Huh. I had no idea.
So you're starting you're starting that steaming and that process before the cake has had time to really set. Because it's that steam reaction's happening too early. So what happens is that the air bubbles blow up, and then it doesn't have enough structure and it falls. And that's the issue that people have with baking at high altitude. So what you do to help that is you add more flour, basically. And if you have a stronger batter for your cake, it's got more structure and it's going to set quicker, and it's going to offset the issues that happen there. Does that make sense? I'm so bad at explaining.
No, it was great. And I know Celeste will appreciate that because she's our resident baker. I've never had to experience that before. I've never had to experience that before. So
Thank you. Andy.
Yeah, so like that's what a pressure cooker is. So a pressure cooker is that you're adding atmospheric pressure to the liquid, therefore the liquid is now boiling at a higher temperature.
yes.
So now if you're boiling, so you're boiling, you know, your soup or whatever you're making in your pressure cooker, you're above 212 degrees. So the food cooks quicker. So the opposite of a pressure cooker is what's happening here.
Okay. That's so interesting. I've never even thought about any of that. I've always just been here. I mean, I've never lived anywhere else.
Maybe Dave could show you the Vsauce videos.
Oh, wait.
Sure, out there.
Are you a fan of Vsauce, or are you
Oh,
making
yeah.
fun of Vsauce?
I'm a huge old school fan of Vsauce. I've been watching Vsauce before anyone knew what Vsauce
Oh, that's
was.
so
Yeah, it was
awesome.
years
Yeah.
ago. I was laid off, and I discovered them, and I just watched like all their videos.
It was. I was pregnant with our second kid, and I just remember like,
So it was like
laying there on the
7.
couch with Dave, and he's watching Vsauce, and I'm like,
Mary
I
doesn't
am.
want to hear it.
Well, I was like,
No,
No,
probably
because you get
8
into the
months
numbers.
pregnant.
Even I glaze over.
And he, oh my gosh, Michael was like, and this and here and over here, and I'm like, I am so done with this.
So I'm going to say,
But it's
apparently
very
we
interesting.
have a pizza on the way, care of Andy.
Andy, thank
Oh.
you. What a sweetheart. Oh my gosh.
That's
Andy.
awesome. It's a meat lovers too.
Oh,
Fired up.
because I'm a meat lover. No, Dave's-
That's Andy Borosowski.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, he sent us
yep.
pizza.
he's been a long time
Nice.
fan. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
met
drew
him in
him in.
LMCG, and he always
I know who Andy Borosowski is.
Yes. Oh, I'm totally aware that you. I'm completely aware.
Oh yeah, you really laid into him the other day.
I gotta pee. You guys can talk about how this happened, and then I want to ask you a few more questions.
Oh, I can't. I need to go get more water. I'm thirsty.
Okay.
Just
Uh-oh.
be me.
It's gonna be just Dave. This is gonna be so exciting. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna...
So go pee. Go
Okay.
ahead.
All right.
Watch the door.
Yeah, the headphones was a great
Why
idea,
did you
by the
all
way.
leave me?
Oh, he's back already. See? Yeah, it's hit or miss because a lot of people just come on and sometimes it'll be great and sometimes it's like because the app tries to mute the person talking from the person listening and stuff like that, and it gets overlapped and a lot of the audio gets
Yeah.
cut out.
Yeah, I've seen that. I was worried that might happen, but I made sure I was prepared.
Yeah, this is great.
You recommended the headphones, which I absolutely love. It's definitely the way to go.
I'm getting better at it. What's up, R Breezy? But yeah, I guess they're here, so Mary's gonna get that.
That's wonderful. Yeah, what were we talking about?
This is where I freeze up. I was talking about something.
Maybe we could talk about my 4chan memes.
Yeah. So you're
I'm kidding.
we don't
No,
have to
I'm
talk
kidding.
about what they
That's
are,
not-
but you're active in that platform.
Yeah, no, but it's anonymous.
Yeah. Uh-oh, I got to bail, so you're on your own.
Okay.
Can you believe we run a show here?
I'm commenting now.
All right. Oh yeah, we were talking about The 4chan. Or did we move from that?
Oh yeah, no, it's anonymous. Did you figure out how to use it? You were talking about how you didn't know how to use it the other week.
Not at all. I was just like scrolling around on it and reading other people's stuff, and I realized that it is wide open and people just say whatever they want. So that kind of made me assume that it was anonymous.
Well, that's where I go when something happens. That's where I go to get the skeptic view. You know, like when, you know, whatever, you know, Vegas shooting. You know what I mean? That's where you go because they're looking for, you know, the truth. They're looking for, you know, and they're allowed to say it. They're allowed to say whatever they want. And sometimes you get people with crazy ideas. Sometimes you get people that are just being trolls or being, you know, mean to be mean to somebody, you know.
So you have to filter through that.
Yeah, but you know, it's just like watching the news or anything else. You have to filter everything, you know, even just talking amongst ourselves. I mean, we're all so different, you know, even in the libertarian community, we're all, I mean, the range of ideologies is actually, you know, if you really look at how individual people actually think, it varies greatly between all of us.
Oh yeah. So, and even with our friends who we do agree with, I'm like, where are they getting their information from? I still question all that. Like with this whole flu going around in China there. And there's
yeah, I'm having a hard time putting my finger on that.
Yeah, because
it doesn't quite line up.
And there's
usually I can spot a motive, you know, but I'm not seeing it here, and I'm wondering if it's some long game, you know, deal that I'm missing something, and it scares me a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of people say like, you know, it's like, it's bigger than what they're saying, and it's like, well, then why would they like I'm listening to the news every morning and like, oh, this is another record-breaking day. Are they easing us into the truth, or have they just been giving us the truth all along, or are they just that inept and they don't really know what's going on? And then other people is like, where it came from, why it happened, is it population control in their own nation? I've heard things where it said it only affects the Asians. You know?
Shut up.
Yeah. like it's specially designed where.
Why am I like, oh God, please?
Yeah.
Well,
just because I don't want it.
Well, I mean, there are definitely. I mean, you think of there's plenty of diseases that affect certain races more than others. They could definitely isolate what that is and, you know, put it in something. They were probably doing an experiment and, you know, it got out somehow. You know, who knows? It could be. I mean, the narrative kind of fits that. That's why they kind of acted. You know, they were kind of downplaying it at first. That would explain that. It would explain, you know, how wildly reckless, you know, it is. Like, I mean, imagine if they were trying to do that, why would they do it the way they did it? Why would they do it in Wuhan where they have, you know, these laboratories? Why would they do it in the same city as these laboratories? That doesn't make sense.
Sorry, I was taking a picture. You know how we roll, Beau. Gotta give a big, huge
Andy.
shout out to Andy.
Oh, nice.
He sent us pizza. Meat Lovers Pizza.
I haven't even opened
So
it.
Fantastic.
we're gonna look at it. Yeah, sorry, I had to go pee, and I was. That looks so good. I was like, I have to go. I couldn't open the door. Like, Dave, you gotta come up here and answer the door. I didn't want to leave the person hanging. Okay, Beau. John Jay says to check your inbox.
Uh-oh.
But he knows.
We all live with our phones, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely. I would show you guys, but you wouldn't be able to see it. It's too blurry.
That's cool. Yeah, no, yeah. You got to get in the LLN chat, Beau. You got to get in there. Are you in there?
Yeah. I'm pretty bad with group chats.
Yeah, no, me too. Like, I don't visit very often, but when I do.
You know, I have a lot of things going on.
Yeah,
I have, I have 21 pages.
Wait,
I thought it was just your personal page.
Wait, what? You had
No,
21?
not like I post to all of them or any of them sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm making memes. I'm, you know, looking for things. There's tons of people now I'm trying to keep track of, and
Yep. I get it.
There's a lot going on.
Dude, I have kids, so I have enough going on that
and then you got real life.
Plus real life. Jeez.
I barely get into the chat because it's hard with the kids, you know, because every time I open it up, they're like, "Hey, Mom," and I'm like, "Well, never mind. There goes that." I'm
lucky in that regard because mine's 13, so she doesn't. She wants to be away from me as much as possible.
Oh, I know. That's my 10-year-old though. It's starting to happen.
No, he's on her hip.
I know, but he goes upstairs on his own. He goes to his room and he does his thing. You know, he'll play. He's like, "Oh, I just took apart this Nerf gun and I put it back together," and you know, I'm just like, "Wow," you know. And he's like, "These are the only parts that are left over." No, he's really good at getting stuff back together.
What's up, little K?
Can I ask about like your previous experience, like in the system kind of thing? Can we talk about that?
Oh yeah.
Is that cool?
Absolutely.
Okay. How did that happen?
Yeah. So I've gotten in a lot of trouble in my life. Not necessarily serious trouble, but I've gotten in a lot of. I had a lot of small things. I drove without a license for a really long time. I kept getting pulled over for that, and I kept, getting, not showing up for court, doing whatever. I was a really, really bad alcoholic for a lot of years. I drank every day for 11 years, didn't miss a day. It was bad. I mean, unless I was in jail, but I wasn't really in there for very long when I was.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember I was telling you guys in the comments or something about when I was in Denver City Jail. I was in there. That was 2015, summer of 2015. I spent 72 days in Denver City Jail.
Wow.
And yeah, so we were making hooch, and I remember you guys were pretty.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that.
How can we make hooch in the toilet?
Yeah, in the toilet. No, so that was really, really fun. I wanted to tell you guys about that. I almost forgot about it. So I went in and somebody was already making it. So I just bought a starter. And what that means is that you just take a little bit of it and you use that as your starter, and it already has the fermentation action happening. So then, all I basically had to do was, manage it throughout the week. Add oranges, add sugar.
Yeah.
Keep feeding that fermentation process, but not feeding it too much. Not having too much water, not enough water. You kind of have to, balance all those different things, all while trying to keep it hidden in a trash bag underneath your bed.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, where is this happening? Okay, in a trash bag under your bed. Okay.
Yeah, so they would switch out the laundry Sunday morning. So we would start right after that, and basically we would take an empty bag of instant coffee, and we would put make a starter for the following week, and then we'd roll that up and then stuff that into our sock, and then we would go and we would change our laundry out, but we would still wear our outfit, but we would change our spare outfits and our bed sheets and things like that and get new ones. And they would also kind of check through they would kind of poke around and look through the bunk areas. So then we would just start up another one. And because it was the city jail, no one was there on like a sentence. Everyone's waiting for court. So you have people, this is all the people that get arrested that day, or that are only there for a day or two or a couple of days. Like there were a few people that were there for a while like me, but a lot of people coming in and out, heroin addicts that don't really want to eat their orange, so you just give them like a, piece of hard candy or something because they're coming down off of heroin and all they can eat is sugar. Or they'll vomit.
I can't even.
So
imagine.
so they'll just give you your oranges. No, it's great, Mary. It's great. Good. If we didn't have them, I wouldn't have oranges. You know what I mean? That's their business.
Wow.
So you just feed the fermentation process, and we ended up making about, this was a good solid gallon or more every week, and it was pretty strong too. I would say. as somebody that's drank a lot of alcohol, I think I can pretty confidently say that we were at about maybe like 15%
Holy sh!
alcohol. I would say that we would get up to. I mean, we would get
Wow.
drunk.
Sounds like-
Multiple people
Yeah.
would get hammered, and we would do it every Saturday. And they'd let us stay out late on Saturday, and we just would fuck around and
Yeah.
watch TV or go play basketball until like midnight. Oh yeah, it was interesting. Like I couldn't
Wow.
even.
Yeah, that's stronger than
That's how you know you're a bad alcoholic if they put you in jail and you keep drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Give it a
gosh.
shot. See if I can stomach it.
So what happened then in jail, and then when you got out?
That I was on a bond, so my business partner had to come up with like an obscene amount of money to bond me out of jail, and they did it. And yeah,
And then what happened?
thank you, John, the other John.
So
But yeah, I mean, that was just over some BS. I think that was over the DUI. I had 2 DUIs. Yeah, I went for 8.5 months to a county jail one time. That was the worst. That was definitely the longest.
A county.
That was pretty rough. Yeah, county jail for 8.5 months. Yeah, so
what's the difference? Like, I mean, my
between like
kids
a
are
jail
all-
and a prison.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Well, a jail is for county offenses, and the prisons are for for state, for
Okay.
for felony sentences. County
Yeah.
jail is where they keep you before you go to court, or if you say you get sentenced to 30 days, you're going to the county jail. They're not going to send you to prison,
Okay.
because if you go to prison, then they put you through like a huge process, and it takes however long, and you go to a facility and you get checked in, and they photograph you and take your blood and
Oh, wow.
give you medical tests, and they
Mhm.
kind of have you in a little bit of a quarantine, and they see if you have any diseases or
Yeah.
everything else, and then they decide how they're going to classify you, and then they send you to if you're a murderer or you're dangerous, you're going to Canyon City, or you're going to the prison camp up the road,
Yeah.
where the the more minor the financial crimes, or the that's where they send all the pedophiles. For some reason they get the easy prisons, apparently more often,
Yeah. Why did they get the easy prisons?
Yeah, that doesn't seem right.
because they're not dangerous, and they're not in a gang.
Not
They're just some
dangerous to
I'm
creepy
like, wait, not
dude.
dangerous.
Not dangerous to adults.
Well, no, like, yeah, they're not dangerous in a prison.
Not
environment,
dangerous in
You know what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
yeah, they're a danger to society. So
Yeah.
they're keeping them out of society, I guess.
Um.
Yeah, they're not in a gang. They're not going to start fights. They're
Mhm.
not going to stab people. They're just creepy weirdos.
Yeah.
Fat nerds.
Can I ask you your thoughts on the death penalty? Because we talked to Hannah last week, and she is, running an organization that is for conservatives that are concerned about the death penalty. But just in general, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm definitely not for the death penalty at all. I don't think that I'm an anarchist. I
you're
don't think the
pro-life.
state should exist. I don't think there should be any law, or any authority to that's allowed to kill somebody. We're giving our consent for the government to kill us, and right now it's for murder, but what's it going to be for next year?
Yeah.
You see
Yep.
how things are going, how
Depends
they tear
on who's
people,
elected. Yeah.
Yeah.
deperson people over a tweet. Get people fired from their jobs, try to ruin their lives. They might want to put transphobes to death in 20 years, for all we know. Like, we should never give the government the right to
Yep. That's right.
kill us.
Yeah.
Like, we're basically saying, like, hey, if I act up too much, you just go ahead and just kill me. Just end it.
Right. Please don't.
I don't feel comfortable with that.
Me neither. Because where's that line? They don't.
Yeah.
They're. Yeah. What were your thoughts on the video we shared earlier with the woman on the plane and the man punching
Did
her
you see
seat?
that?
Well, my thoughts are very similar to Dave's. I think that that kind of passive aggressive, the attitude is just so bad, and it seems to be getting worse in society. I see more, passive aggressive actions like that now. Whereas I feel like 20 years ago, somebody might have just said something.
Yeah.
If I was anywhere in the near vicinity of that happening, I would have made myself a part of it. Like, that's just who I am. Like, absolutely, I'd be like, what is going on over here? Like, what are you doing? Think about what you're doing right now.
You guys
like, can we talk about this for a second?
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely would have. Especially on the plane, because I probably would have had a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
Just to start out.
Now, are you a frequent flyer?
I'd buy them both a drink. Be like, okay, 2 shots over here. They need to calm down.
Yeah. Do you fly a lot?
No. I've flown twice in the last year. Or I'm sorry.
More than me.
Taken two trips in the last year.
Okay.
So we went to Omaha for business. And then went to Phoenix, Arizona a couple of weeks ago to visit my old business partner, John.
That's fun. You had a good time there? I've never been.
Oh, it was great.
It's like I've been to California, but then all that stuff in between I missed because I flew over.
I really liked it. I was sold on it. I think it's a great place. I honestly, I would move there if it wasn't for, a couple of factors. The heat is extreme.
Okay.
He's dealing with, they had a week of like 115 and above last summer. It was insane.
So what do you do? Stay inside? Do you stay inside? You go from your air-conditioned house to your air-conditioned car to your air-conditioned place that you're going to?
It's got to be lots of HVAC work out there. They must have people going 24/7 out there.
What's it like now where you are? The weather, Denver is like supposed to be the sunniest place in America, right?
I think that it's like the 7th sunniest state, Colorado. Okay. I'm not sure about cities, but I can tell you, I think it's like the 7th or 8th or something like that. Which ranks higher than what you might imagine. Our weather is pretty good.
We are way low. I'm like, when did the sun come out? It came out today. Which was nice. It's reflecting off the snow. I'm like, it's extra sun, even though it's much degrees.
Drier here.
Much drier. Okay.
Much drier. Yeah. It's not humid in the summer, which is nice.
Wait, what?
It's not humid in the summer. It's very dry, which is nice. Which is really that humidity, and you just start sweating.
Yep.
Like, it's awful.
Arizona's
also a dry heat too.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember some days in New Jersey, and it's like 90 degrees, but then the humidity is like 99, and it just...
You get out of the shower and you're toweling off, and you're like, I'm still wet. This is so gross.
You can't enjoy anything. Yeah.
No, you can't. Now, bug-wise, what's it like out there? Bugs?
Oh yeah, great for bugs. Very little bugs. Really? Unless you like bugs, then it's terrible for bugs.
I hate bugs. I hate them. I don't mean like I hate them, because like obviously God made them for a reason, but like I don't want them around here in my house.
Except for wasps, those are assholes.
The wasps are jerks for no reason.
Drier. It's drier. That's it. It's wetter. There's you got lakes and you got rivers and you got all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's just dry. It's just outside of the city, it's just dead grass or wheat fields.
Okay. Oh, but
so we don't. So we have the brown recluses, we have some black widows, things like that. But, and I know some people that have gotten, bitten by those, but relative to like anywhere else, even in Arizona, they have scorpions. We don't have scorpions here,
Oh.
So we have some of the benefit. I haven't seen a spider. I moved in June into the apartment that I live in now, and I have yet to see a spider. I've yet to see an ant. I've yet to see any bug at all inside my house since June.
Oh man.
Yes. Not a moth, not a centipede, not a whatever.
Centipedes are so gross.
Yeah, we have bug seasons. There's like ant season and then gnat season, and then House centipede season.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Yeah.
get flies. We get flies sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes in the summer the flies can get pretty bad, but I imagine I mean, there's not as many mosquitoes as where you are.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Those suck. They love me for some reason. I mean, Dave can
'Cause
go
you're
out
so
there
sweet.
because I'm so sweet, I guess.
Well, drinking
I'm getting
alcohol
attacked.
makes them attracted to you, especially drinking beer. The yeast in the
Oh.
beer.
Oh, that's it, because I drink so
Yeah.
much beer.
Oh yeah. That explains
Bye,
it.
Wolf.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. It's not because I'm a little cutie sweetie. It's because I drink too much beer. Shit.
Sorry.
No,
I
that's
didn't
all
mean to
right.
ruin that.
On Valentine's Day too, Beau? What the hell?
Oh, earwigs. We don't get too many earwigs.
Okay, so what are some of, I mean, are you like afraid of anything? Do you have fears, like, you know, whether it be...
Am I afraid of anything?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm jokingly saying the boogeyman, but it could be a thing. Or the new flu thing going around, or bugs, you know. I'm just thinking of all of my things that freak me
Heights,
out.
pandemics.
Yeah. Heights and pandemics. Okay.
The answer is no. I'm the one to be feared.
Oh, there you go.
You're the one who knocks. Okay.
Honestly,
I am the one who means.
I'm at the point where it's like I just want to go get the coronavirus so I can stop worrying about it, like get over the flu and then move on with my life. I already had it.
I don't want it
We
though.
live in we have significantly better hospitals than any other country in the world. If you got coronavirus, are you kidding me? Like you'd have the best of the best working on you to try to save your city, try to save the country. You know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
That would be the best thing. Like if I did get it, I would definitely use that as an opportunity to get like a free checkup on other things, like how's the blood pressure doing, you know, whatever else, you know.
I'm gonna be on the news.
I would definitely wear my like I'd be like coughing on the ground, like Courtney, grab my hat in case the news comes.
Check out this T-shirt.
Yes, okay, Sean Hatchie.
Now, I want to ask about that. Now we all met through Liberty Memes, like the community, whether it be in the community group or the Patreon group, but how did the whole Sean Hatchie, Fraggle Rock meme kind of thing, Beau Wright, Sean
Did you guys
Hatchie
meet each
kind
other at the same time? We met all you guys.
Like what? How y'all are? I love the stuff that you guys put out. Now, how does that happen? How did you guys connect? Did it start out with like? I mean, has it always been friendly?
Well, like I was saying, you know, we were all in the comment section at Liberty Memes, and we had kind of met a couple of people, and you start to recognize people, you know, and then really it was the starting of Liberty Memes community group. And right in the very beginning, it was like, okay, I remember these guys, the same guys that were vocal in the comment sections are the same guys that are vocal here, you know. So, you know, I tried to do what I could to, you know, because I'd known David, you know, I was always messaging back and forth with David, and you know, I had met some other guys, some old ex members of groups and such. And yeah, so we just, you know, we all met each other and had a great time, and you know, that whole first wave was just really fun, and we were all really excited, and the possibilities were endless, and you know, and I think it surpassed anything that we even thought that we were going to do. You know, realistically, of course, we had, you know, big goals, and you know, David wanted to, you know, own the moon or whatever else it is, or
change the world.
Change the world. You know, whatever else it was. But I think that it's been a very successful effort, and I met Sean Hatchie in the group. You know, everyone was tagging him, and I'm like, what's going on?
Because he told them not to.
Yeah, then I found out, you know, and it, you know, and inside jokes in groups, that's always been a thing for me. I was in ADL meme mothership, or the Dela laughing whatever, whatever, some shit posting group that was really big, but we had gotten kind of tight, and that was my group before Liberty Memes people. That was where I spent most of my time, and there were inside jokes, and we made memes about each other, and we put, they didn't look as nice as they do now, but we did them.
But you did it anyway.
Yeah. So it just was the same as anything, and man, he's such a cool guy. He's such a nice person. And Sean Hatchie, really, of all the people that I met, especially, I don't know, one or two of those ex members and a couple other people, some people, they just rubbed me the wrong way, and I never really connected with them, and I didn't really like them. But Sean Hatchie, he's been there since the beginning. He joined LMCG the first day, just like I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I'm the in at least in the Patreon group, I'm number 39, or no, I'm sorry, I'm 32. I'm 32. Gosh. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you go all the way to the bottom of the members and you scroll all the way to the bottom, it's like, that's the chronological order. Like who joined the group first. I'm the 32nd person to be in Liberty Memes Patreon. So
wow. Wow.
Yeah. And I wanted to be involved, and how better to get involved than to take this character of a human, Sean Hatchie, who's funny and wacky and different than everyone else, and I'm with him, I'm here too, I'll make a meme about Sean Hatchie, and then people will know who I am, and then you
guys play off each other in that way.
Yeah, and then the Fraggle Rock memes kind of came a little bit later. That was when he had the page, and the Don't Tag Sean Hatchie page, the first one, and he kept picking these ridiculous templates, and I was just trying to help him.
You're just trying to help.
And
he refuses.
Yeah, I was just trying to help, and he's just like, no, like it's good. I'll I know it, or like something's like, I know it's bad. But he's actually a lot better now. He's significantly better now. Sean Hatchie makes some actually some really good memes.
And then some of them what is this?
Well, he came to our house and hung out with our family, and I made memes out of pictures of you and your family. And right, Sean. And so did he. He thinks in meme, and everything he did, that he shared with us, I was like, oh my gosh, I get that. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. And he'd share it to his page, and I'm like, no one else is going to get that because they don't know our kid, or maybe people would get it, but it's like, he just puts it all out there. Everything he thinks, it comes out, and
some totally unrelated image.
I love it though. I love it so much. I do.
Yeah. Yeah, geez. It's definitely an interesting angle, but my thing with Sean is just that he's became a very good friend, and somebody that I talk to every day, and somebody that's one of my closest friends now at this point, is as far as people I talk to, even my friends that I've known for a long time, I more just kind of check in on them once a week, but I'm on there with John Jay and Sean Hatchie every day, multiple times. I'm cooking on the line at work and looking at stuff, John Jay sending me or Sean.
Yeah. So have you met either of them? I mean, like Sean or John, like in person yet?
No, just video chats.
Yeah.
On the phone.
It's amazing how well we've gotten to know each other.
It's I feel like, we're gonna meet someday, Beau, and I hope you're okay with me giving you a hug because I'm a hugger.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. We'll get a good picture for your when you're running for District 1.
I definitely want to come out there. I definitely was when Sean Hatchie was here on the show, he had my hat, and I really wish I was there.
Oh, right.
I wanted to be there.
Yeah. Amazing. We've got a few.
We got new
on,
Twitch viewers, so you got to make sure that they know that you're not wearing a Trump hat.
No, that's not a Trump hat. Tell them what your hat says.
No, it's a joke. It's making fun of Trump's hat. Orange man bad. Orange man bad. No, we're for freedom, living the way you want to live them. If you want to be trans, don't let Donald Trump bully you. That's fine. Do your thing. Are we cool now? Are they gone?
Well, no.
I'm sorry. I saw Josiah was here, so. Beau is based. Beau is based and Chad.
Make Sean Hatchie dope again.
He's
hey,
never stopped
you appreciate freedom, and that's how we feel too. Appreciating your personal freedoms to be able to take care of yourself.
Do what you want.
Do what you want as long as you're not harming anyone else. That's how I feel. It's none of my business. Do your thing. You're not hurting me. That's fine. Yeah. And vaping in America. This is nicotine vape, by the way.
Yeah.
Although I could be doing other vaping if I wanted to.
We are anarchists. Sorry.
Anarchy?
It's not as scary as it sounds.
I know. Anarchy, people think you vape crack. Okay.
Do your thing, man.
Do it.
Just don't rob my house.
Oh, I got to meet Michael Jabbar. That was another one. I wanted to mention that as well.
Yeah, let's talk about
when
that.
I went to Phoenix, I met up with Michael Jabbar from.
It's a crap battery, Dave.
I grabbed the wrong one.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say what pages people.
Oh,
are on.
I understand. Yeah. Can you?
I don't know the name.
But everyone's on like a bunch of pages, So.
Yeah.
He's on a bunch. He's done really well, and he was tons of fun. I met him at a bar, and we played some pool and drank a bunch. And he had to work the next day at 5 a.m. But he was drinking with me. He was going. He sacrificed his next day to hang out with me, and I really appreciate that.
And we will do the same right now, Beau.
Yeah. No, I have to work 12 hours tomorrow.
You have to work 12 hours tomorrow.
What time do you have to work?
6:30 in the morning, so it's almost midnight.
So you have to wake up at what? 5?
Like 5:30. I don't take too much.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah.
Huh. That's it, huh?
But I average like 4 hours, 5 hours a night.
No, that's Beau, the one time you were in the chat though, and you're like, oh my gosh,
yeah.
No, seriously, Dave, like, be responsible.
Like, bro, you're gonna die.
Okay,
that's rough. I do not drink if I have to work the next day. I haven't drank on a work night. Well, I took a half-day vacation after the Wu-Tang concert, and I didn't show up until noon, and I was still a little floating there. But since March 6th of 2016, I have not drank the day before I had to work.
Good for you. Damn.
Yeah.
Like, I would never be able to drink because I work at home with the children all the time.
I should do that.
It's great that you're able to do that. I'm very happy for you guys that you're able to do that.
Yeah, it's a blessing. I'm going to say it is.
The mom at home thing.
That I can be here with them. That as frustrating as it can be, it still has those beautiful moments where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I get to be here and see this, or be a part of, homeschooling in their education.
You can't put a value on that. I mean, that's.
Yeah. And even though our middle kid, like, I feel bad, like, he taught himself to read because he wanted to play video games. But he started so early, and
he just demanded to know.
He's like, I want to know what's going on here, and I'm sick of asking mom to come read it. And he learned how to read. And now he reads us bedtime stories as a family in bed. It's like he's 6.5, and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, like I can't take any credit for this.
He's very gifted.
Yeah, It's wild. He did it on his own. So,
and he's got the best opportunity now. You're there with him. So.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And it takes so much less time.
It does. When you're teaching your kids, it doesn't.
It's just like a couple minutes. It's like, here, this is what it is. Do you understand?
Yeah.
No. Okay. This is what it is. Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
All right. Go play video games.
It's not a 45-minute lesson.
Well, they catch up with every other kid.
Yeah. You just go with their flow.
Well, that's the worst part.
Yeah.
Why am I doing the same math problem with different numbers over and over and over again on a sheet of paper?
Yeah.
The grid, 15 problems long and 5 wide.
Yep.
And it's all the same
Problem.
concept.
Yep.
But you're just
And if you get it, you get it.
Numbers.
And if you get it, then you just have to fill in the blank and do what they say and hand in the assignment to get the grade, you know. And if you don't get it, are you getting the help that you need? You know, I don't know. I think, and I don't ever. It's hard because we homeschool, but I don't ever want anyone to think like that we ever put anyone down. Like,
no, yeah, we're lucky that we're in a position where we can do it.
A
lot of people can't.
Want people to think that, yeah, because they send them to public school.
Just be involved.
Yeah. But there's like 30 kids in a room, and some are way ahead, some are so far behind, and then there's the group that are making it happen for the numbers, you know, for the school.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
the
like
test
you're the test scores, you're doing good, you're keeping us up, it's fine, but what about the kids who are over here bored and the kids over here who are struggling? You know, I don't know. It's hard.
Need more classes.
Yeah. Yep.
Not to mention the drama. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of things that go on. I mean, even at the middle school that my daughter goes to, there's fights,
Yep.
you know, fist fights, you know.
Yep.
And the technology just makes it worse. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
it
Yeah.
doesn't stop.
Oh,
when you go
yeah.
home. Like I remember, at least when I went home, the shit would stop.
Mm-hmm.
You
Well,
know,
maybe unless
Yeah,
you
I
had-
remember when I first, I was maybe 13 or something, and I finally got a phone in for my room. Like it wasn't a new line, but it was like I plugged it
for
in.
your room,
So like
yes.
if my mom was on the phone, then I couldn't be on the phone or whatever. But I had my own phone in my room,
Yep.
so I wouldn't have to be in the living room and talk to my friends.
Yes.
And that was a big deal.
because it was corded.
Yes. Can I ask how old you are, Beau? You don't have to answer. It's fine.
How old do you think I am?
Everyone's
Mid
my
to
age.
upper 30s.
Everyone's my age, but then I always deduct a few years because I think
Yeah, because we're old.
because we're old. So I'm gonna say like 35, but probably like 25. Look at him, he's 25.
Somewhere
See?
between 23 and 42.
Yeah, that's me. No, I'm 33.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay,
you're
great.
still just a kid.
Yeah.
I'm definitely younger. Most of you guys are like upper 30s or just turning 40.
Yeah.
You know,
Beau,
Sean's upper 30s.
I'm 40 on 4/4 this year.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Yep. Mhm. But I'm
Was
okay
it on
with
4-5 last year?
It was. It was actually 4/3. But I am. It's like I'm gonna be 40 now, but I don't think like age. Of course, I feel like I'm 25 because I'm sitting here
Oh, yeah,
drinking like I'm
yeah.
25.
And
so.
we hang out with like 19 and 20-year-olds in our group chat. So it's
Yeah.
like, I'm like these kids are
I
talking.
feel
to
closer to 65, that's for sure.
Do you? I feel.
I do. I feel very old. Really the drinking
Oh.
did it to me. I was in a car accident. I hurt my back. I got a really bad back.
Okay.
I'm dying right now, but
Oh my gosh,
Shit.
dude! What happened?
I broke 4 vertebrae. I broke
Shit.
Oh.
That'll do it.
all kinds of stuff, ribs, all kinds of. It was terrible. I was a passenger,
Oh.
and it was 2011, and I was just sitting like this, down, looking at my phone, and I came up on we went up on a median, and so I went up and hit my head up there really hard
Oh
and
my-
slammed back down, and on one of those two things happening, you know, I twisted and I turned, and
Sure.
yeah, it was bad.
Can I ask?
I was in the hospital for like how long? 8 days, I think.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh!
Wow.
Did you have a seat?
Yeah, I couldn't. No, I did not have. I was hammered. Oh man, I
It's
ran
okay.
into this
And
old
that didn't
buddy of
help?
mine. Yeah, I ran into this old buddy of mine, and interesting story. So, you know, we met up at a bar. We went to another bar, whatever. Then we left. Crashed. Just out of instinct, I got up out of the car, and actually walked. I walked about a block away, with broken. Now, mind you, once I got to the hospital, I didn't walk again for 6 days. I didn't
Wow.
stand for 6 days. Yeah.
Yeah. Shock.
So,
shock
but
is
in
a
that
big
moment,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was really really interesting to think about like the next day. So I walked away, and then I realized, oh no, if I lay down, they're not going to find me. I'm like kind of on the edge here. I'm going to be like by this bush.
Yeah.
I need to go back. I can't get home. And
Wow.
so I walked back, and the police, they pull their guns out, and they always, acting hella dramatic in the suburbs.
We're gonna escalate this shit, whether we like it or not.
I'm like limping. I'm like walking. I'm like, scooting along, and so they're like, we're gonna call an ambulance, and I'm like, no, I won't take it. I won't take an ambulance. I don't have any money for that. And I'm drunk. I have a concussion.
But you knew
I'm
that
super
ambulance is
hammered.
costing money.
I'm in shock.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I probably shouldn't have been trusted to make that decision at that moment, I guess.
No.
I don't know. I think they should have probably brought me. Like, it's not a knock on like police officers or anything, but I think that like, whoever it was, a human being seeing another person in that situation probably should just call an ambulance.
Yeah.
So they put me in the back of the cop car, laid me down. They lifted me up because I went down onto the ground at that point. They lifted me up, brought me in the cop car, drove me to my house, and I had one under each arm. So they literally carried me into my house, the police.
Wait,
and
they didn't even take you to like a hospital? I mean, they didn't take you to a
hospital? No, I refused. I said, no ambulance, no hospital. I won't do it. I won't pay for it. I'm not doing it.
Wow.
And they're like, okay, they agreed. And they brought me to my house. And yeah, they two police officers carried me in my house and laid me on my bed. And I woke up the next day
A bootlicker.
and I couldn't move. Like I couldn't sit up. And it was just so painful. I couldn't, and I'm like, and my phone was charging in the living room.
Yeah.
So I'm screaming, hoping that the neighbors hear me, because I literally can't move. And I've been sitting here for an hour, in the most excruciating pain of my life. And no one heard me. So I ended up, what I did is I scooted over to the edge of the bed and I flopped off of the bed. And I passed out because it hurt so bad. And I woke up, I don't know, whatever, 10 minutes, who knows, 2 hours, I couldn't tell you. And I actually crawled just with my arms through the hallway to the living room and reached up and grabbed my phone off the table and called a friend. I still wouldn't call the ambulance.
Wow.
And I crawled out onto the porch, and I'm literally laying face down on the porch with like a cigarette like this, like I'm going to the hospital. They're not going to let me smoke. So I'm like, I'm laying flat, smoking a cigarette on the ground. And he picks me up and he brings me in the car, and they didn't have when we got to the hospital, they didn't have the gurney.
Like
they didn't have a gurney free for me. So there was some sort of emergency going on or something. So they put me in a wheelchair, like straight 90-degree angle wheelchair. So I'm sitting in it.
So you couldn't recline like in the
yeah. So my whole body weight is just sitting on my broken back.
Your brokenness.
And I'm in the waiting room, and I fell forward and cracked my head. And because I passed out, it was too much. It was excruciating. I'm telling you, the pain was so bad. Like
sure.
I'm not,
bro.
I'm not somebody that whines and cries about little things, man.
Yeah.
It was really just that bad.
Oh my god.
But then they took good care of me after that. That was an interesting story.
His back's broke.
No, the real interesting story is Joel Ferguson, the guy that was driving the car that day. He ended up going on like this chase, and like he tried to run over some police officers like later, like a couple of years later. He was in the news, and he like he carjacked somebody, and his life just went way downhill. We took two separate roads that day, that's for sure.
So what happened to you? Did that help?
That situation kicked me into gear. It helped a little bit.
Yeah. At least put you on a better path.
The real thing that changed my life was really, the threat of losing family, the threat of losing my significant other at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know, she was great. She was really cool, and she put up with a lot, you know, but it was, you know, at the end it's like you got to get it together.
You do.
And,
yeah.
I did eventually. Like I said, yeah, March 6th was the day that I quit drinking, and I didn't drink for 22 months. I didn't have a single sip of alcohol for 22 months. I needed my body to completely reacclimate itself and completely retrain my body.
How? Okay, so asking for a friend.
And now,
what was the moment, and how did you do that?
What was the moment of
that March 6th? What was that? Was that the accident day? What was the day?
So I was going through. It's interesting because I was on probation for again that same DUI stuff. I kept, you know, I was on probation, and they take me off. They throw me in jail for whatever, and then they take me off, put me back on probation. This ridiculous cycle in the system for years and years and years, and it was just really bad. Sorry, what was the question again?
No, that's fine.
How did you quit drinking?
Yeah, well, no, but okay.
Okay.
What's significant about that date? And
so
then how
that particular day, I had gotten really, really bad. I had gotten really bad. I was drinking just. It was ruining everything. Everything was falling apart because of it. And I had really just decided I wanted to get help. So I was trying to do a rehab program through probation, but they kept putting me off, and you know, we got to wait for this, we got to wait for that, we got to do this paperwork, we got to do that paperwork. So I went out on my own, and I found a place that was willing to take payments, and I was going to do some work on their sidewalk on the front of the building. Because at the time we had a concrete patio venture on the side, so we were doing some concrete stuff. So we were going to trade some of that work to get me into rehab. Then I went to court, and they're like, "We don't care that you're trying. We're just going to throw you in jail." So then they threw me in jail the morning of March 7th.
Fuck that.
But it was great, because this is what I ended up doing. What I ended up doing was like 25 days in the jail. So I spent the first week in the medical unit detoxing. And then after that, then they kind of start weaning you off of the detox drugs. And by the time I was done with the 25 days, I was kind of starting to get a little bit of clarity back. I'd been off the medicine for 2 weeks at that point. And then they brought me to another county, a county outside of town. So I'm an hour away, an hour drive north of Denver. And they put me on work release, and I did 56 days of work release. So I went and I got a job, I worked at a Village Inn, and I worked at a Wendy's, just as a cook and crew member.
Yeah.
And that helped to get me into the routine of, wake up, go to work, come home, listen to the radio or watch TV or whatever, and then go to bed, and without drinking. And without that, it brought me out of my regular environment. I wasn't around the same city that I'm used to. I wasn't around the same people I'm used to. Everything looks a little different. Everything is different. And that helped me to kind of transition out of that, that habit. I mean, after 11 years, that's just part of your life. Yeah. I struggled with different drugs and things like that. I just have very addictive personality.
Yeah. Okay. So very addictive personality. Do you ever get nervous about slipping into any of that again?
Well, now I have, my 13-year-old daughter. I have I have no, there's too much to lose. There's too much. I don't even think about it anymore. It's so far in the past, the lifestyle, I drink though. And I think it's really cool that I'm able to do that. I think most people aren't able to do that, but I can seriously, like right now, go just buy a 6-pack, drink the 6-pack, get super buzzed tonight and just not drink tomorrow, and not drink for another month if I wanted to.
Yeah. Yep. That's great. Because what are your thoughts on, like AA and everything? A lot of people feel like, drinking, is it an addiction? Is alcoholism a thing? I've heard people on both sides, because I have family who they have, addiction issues, and it scares the shit out of me. But
I almost died. In Weld County Jail in Colorado. I was having seizures, and they were telling me I almost had a heart attack. I ran into one of the nurses at 7-Eleven one day, and she's like, "Hey, do you remember me?"
oh,
Like, no, I don't. Who are you? And they're like, "Yeah, I was one of the nurses, like, working on you in the jail. Like, you almost died." And from the withdrawals, like, it was really bad. Like, there was this one time where I'm like, it was almost like this feeling of like sleep paralysis in a way, and like there was this like really ominous, like, something you'd hear like the devil in a movie, like talking over everyone, coming, like that. It was like screaming at me, and it was very angry, and it was, I'm not in the room that I'm in, and I'm seeing things, and I'm in a different place, and I'm perceiving everything differently, and it's like, it's not like hallucinogenics, it's something different. It's like a nightmare. It's like you're living a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had
it's definitely a thing.
Oh, sure. Oh, absolutely. It is. Yeah. Do you, have you ever had, you mentioned sleep paralysis. Have you ever experienced that? Because I know some people in the group have, and, it just scares me to death.
Yeah, I did, especially when I was younger. I had lucid dreams.
Really?
And at the same time, I would get sleep paralysis sometimes. But because I was having the lucid dreams, and I just felt more comfortable in my dreams because of those lucid dreams, so that when the sleep paralysis happened, I understood what was happening when it was, even though I was a kid, and it wasn't something that they had talked about on cable TV, that year, we weren't on the internet or anything like that even then. So it was, I felt comfortable. I wasn't, it's a little freaky, but it was more frustrating for me, because I was sitting there thinking like, come on, arm, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That was my thought.
Yeah. Why aren't you moving? I want you to move. We watched a
Mary,
show.
have you had that?
We watched a show on it, and because of my anxiety, I was super. That was, I think, the scariest thing I've ever seen.
Lived through it.
Netflix did. They talked to people who had it, and then they dramatized it. Of course, in the scariest way, where people were paralyzed, basically laying there and watching these almost like demonic figures, or clouds of black smoke come near them, and they couldn't move. And I'm like, oh my God, that is my fear. Oh my gosh, it scares me to death.
Yeah, that kind of sounds similar to the experience with withdrawals, with detoxing.
Woo.
You know what I mean? But I didn't experience that with sleep paralysis. It was the lucid dreams and the sleep paralysis stuff.
Yeah.
It didn't feel traumatic at the time.
It didn't feel traumatic, yeah. Now,
No.
Do you believe in, we've talked to people about this, do you believe in ghosts or spirits or any kind of energy like that can manipulate your life, or in your home kind of thing?
Not officially, no.
No, okay.
You hear things
answer.
and you question it, but it's like, I don't take that step to be like, okay, well, I'm just going to believe that, it's this, what I mean? I can't assign, we keep getting, as we keep the quantum world, there's things that we're seeing and we're finding, and, with the particles existing in two places at the same time, and gravity, starting to understand gravitational waves. To try to, for me to label it some like ghost, Like, I think that's kind of ridiculous to do that. Like, I don't know well enough to say if it's a god or if it's a ghost or if it's, you know, a different dimension or if it's something. We're just not there yet, and we're not going to get there in our life. We won't, absolutely will not get there. It's not going to come together that quickly.
And people talk about energy and things like that, and I do believe in that. I mean, I believe in God, and I believe in energy, that we are humans and we put off. You know, because Dave and I trade energy. It's ridiculous, like where he comes home if he's grumpy from work, you know, and I'm like, yay, hi, what's going on, like, and then I'm just like fighting off. Or if he comes home and I'm grumpy and he's like, what's happening, everyone, and I'm, you know, and it's like, but there's this energy.
Well, we have to say
fight.
Happy birthday to Christian Ulysses.
Oh, hi, happy birthday.
Oh, he's 11.
Oh, happy birthday.
That is a very exciting birthday.
That is yes, awesome. Also, Zach,
I love the
and
Twitch
Steph are
comments.
Happy
They're always the
birthday.
wildest.
happy birthday.
I don't know who any of these people on YouTube ever are.
That was our hardest thing about going onto YouTube. Is
yeah.
all of our friends would show up, but they all had different names.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Well, the people over here on the Facebook side, I know them.
Yeah.
I know all those people.
And they go to YouTube, and we're like,
Mike.
I don't know who they are, you know. And then now we have Twitch and Periscope going over there too, so it's kind of like we get to meet new people.
That one night was crazy. That one night when the guy was getting the police were at his house and all that, and you guys had like hundreds of people here, and it's like,
it was like over 1,000.
Was it 1,000?
Yeah, it was 1,000. I couldn't
don't
Well,
even-
nobody was talking about it. That's why they all came, because you guys were just like, you know,
I'm like
reacting
in my
live to
pajamas.
things. But then also, you're getting fed information, and we're all looking around, and we had some connections to those people, so it brought in some people. I thought, why did you guys cut it off? Did something happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were getting doxxed hard.
And then we got freaked out, and everybody else freaked us out.
Yeah.
And what we found out was that there was like one crazy person out of 1,000 people, which is like, you know.
I don't know. Like one crazy person on Facebook, but then there was like three, or it could have
it was
been
one
fake
person on
accounts,
both platforms.
But everyone's like,
oh, you're
not.
fine.
They're like, oh, it's the feds. Like,
no, yeah, there was a lot of information coming in from people
Yeah.
like anxiety filled, telling us things, and we're just like, let's kill it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Especially with our information just being blurted out there.
But we just did it on a whim.
Yeah.
I was like, no, instead of talking about this in the group chat, let's go do a live stream. And what I should have did was do a live stream in a closed group where we
like
all
LMCG or something.
But no, I went out live. And apparently, like, our stream was getting shared in all those weird places, like 4chan and stuff like that.
That was my first experience with 4chan. I had never been.
Well, see, that's where you need to go in times like that. Those are the people. I don't know. They got hackers over there. That's what they don't want to hang out on Facebook where you like you have a profile picture and you have to verify your identity and things like that. Like no, like they just don't come here.
Yeah.
No, Joel, the malicious.
How do you go about? Gosh, I sound so old, but you know what? I really lean into it, so I'm going to call it the 4chan because I like to say the before things because it makes me sound old. But like, how do you? What are there topics like?
Yeah, so you go to the main page. Yeah, the main page you have different categories. So typically, if I'm going to go there, it's going to be in poll.
Okay.
Yeah, you know that's nothing much else is relevant to me. That's really all I do is politics and.
Okay.
My hat, I guess. Like then that's really it. I don't know. And then you go in. So then you have like a post, and then there's a thread. Okay. So, but you're scrolling down, and it's like post, and then you can click to view thread. So then you're seeing all the replies to that. So then that's how you find your topic. Is you find the post that you want, and it's like, oh, okay, this is the subject I want to hear about or talk about, or whatever, and then you reply to the post. So it's like basically, like if you were to go through your personal timeline on your Facebook page, where there's it's post, and then you can click to go into the comments for that post. except for everyone is working off of that one thing for that topic.
Now, what about
one page
Reddit?
spread.
Do you go to Reddit? Like,
I do. I lost my old Reddit account. I locked myself out of it. But
did you
I go
forget
on
your
there. It's kind
password,
of
Beau? No, I'm kidding.
that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was old.
I know.
I go on
No,
Reddit
that's
to
why I'm
steal
rolling my
memes.
eyes. That's why I'm like, I'd forgotten my password.
Yeah. No.
Oh, nice.
I shown the comments. I shown JJ Willie. I love the Twitch comments. I think they're so exciting.
This is all so much fun. Oh my gosh, I'm having a great time.
I have to go to sleep though.
I know, I'm ignoring the clock. Dave, I'm ignoring the clock. Beau, we're talking to you and not looking at the clock.
Reddit is cancer. Reddit has been taken over by the SJWs. You don't want to go over there.
No.
No,
Okay.
I
What about PewDiePie though?
I go
What
to
about
libertarian
PewDiePie?
Some of it's cool, I guess. Yeah, there's those places.
Yeah,
but you're not going to get anything really on Reddit in that arena that you're not getting from the circle of people that you already have personally.
Okay.
In.
But you
So
go to
that's another place
4chan and that's where it's popping
fresh.
off, right?
Well, that's where I get like the right wing stuff. That's where I get like the right. That's where like if there's like I get a little crazy. I've toned it down a lot over the past year since I started getting banned. But if I'm not willing to post it on Facebook, I bring it to 4chan. If it's like this might get me sucked, it's going to 4chan.
Yeah.
Or Twitter too.
Really? Okay.
Twitter's
Now,
a little less strict.
more lax on some of the stuff that.
On Twitter?
Yeah.
Twitter?
You can have porn on Twitter.
What? Say that one
It's
more time.
ridiculous. Porn. You
yeah,
can have pornography on Twitter.
I mean, not that I know, but there's all
You
kinds
can-
of pornography on Twitter.
Not that he knows.
Yeah, no, I heard about it on Joe Rogan. I don't know.
That's where I heard about it. That's why I was wondering.
That's Dave's like, thanks.
No, I
Beau."
learned about it from that Republican congressman. What's his name? The Zodiac killer.
Oh, that guy.
Oh, Ted Cruz.
Ted
Cruz.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's how I know about porn. on
Zodiac
Twitter.
killer. That's all I needed.
Right. Oh my gosh.
With the lady standing around the corner like.
Do you follow all that's happening? Like, do you watch the news, Beau? I mean, do you? I can't watch the news. It's been years. I can't handle it. My soul cannot take the news anymore.
I watch probably an episode of Tucker Carlson once a week.
Okay.
That's the closest. That's the closest I get to mainstream media.
To news. Okay. Yeah.
I actually I like to watch Tim Pool on YouTube.
Tim Pool.
Okay. I'm gonna write that down.
Tim Pool, yes, he was the one that grilled the CEO of Twitter on Joe Rogan. If you remember Joe Rogan and what's his name? Oh God, what is his name? The CEO of Twitter.
Oh, I don't even know.
That weirdo guy. The weirdo.
I don't even
Oh
know.
God, and the lady. Yeah, so he, Tim Pool. He's a center left guy, but he's like super honest and he's anti progressives kind of. I feel like I'm getting the truth. Like he basically reads through articles and gives his kind of opinion on it. He's fun. He's entertaining. What's it called? Actual Justice Warrior, on YouTube.
Okay.
Is a great place to get commentary. He doesn't post a lot. High Impact Vlogs on YouTube. High Impact Vlogs is great. That guy he was at the rally in Virginia. He's an anarchist. He talks about statism. He talks about he's great. He would be somebody that would be great to work to try to figure out how to get him on someday.
That'd be yeah.
What are we talking about? Right
Now, High Impact Vlogs.
Oh, okay.
High Impact Vlogs, yes, on YouTube.
Yeah.
He's got like long hair. He's like,
YouTube,
he's really good. And then I get it from I try to get news from all angles. Everything except for the mainstream media, basically.
Yeah.
Like You know, I watch Nick Fuentes. The Nick Fuentes is a right winger. He's a nationalist. He's a paleo conservative. He's a anti-immigration.
Yeah.
Social conservative, anti-gay, anti-trans, anti-whatever. He's, you know, but he's 21 years old, and he's very entertaining. And it's interesting to hear some of he's got some great insights on U.S.-Israel relations. I don't want to get too much into that, but.
Are we back? Can everyone hear us again?
Okay.
Can y'all hear us?
Wow, how did you do that? How did you do that and know it was going to do that?
Because I have this freeware audio router that I use, and it cuts out every 6 hours, and I forgot I started early.
We back.
And yeah, so I got to donate to get the license, and
Beau, I want to ask her.
Oh yes, okay.
I want to ask her your opinion on the whole Virginia thing. You know, all that happened there.
Was it worth it?
Was it? I mean, I asked other people, was it a success? Was it not? Or is there just like this happy medium where it was a movement?
Did we flex?
We did something.
Okay. Well, so I mean, the way that I look at it is this: the people came together and hung out. So those are all people that are standing around having a fun experience where they're hanging out with like-minded people. They feel a little bit more positive about their beliefs. They feel a little bit less hopeless. You know, when you watch the mainstream media and everyone's like, we're coming for the guns, you know, and then you go there and there's thousands of people standing around you that are standing in solidarity, and, you know, it helps the movement. It helps the process. And I think that it makes it more likely that those people are a little bit more jazzed up and they go out and they vote those people out next time.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Fucking with the comments. He figured us out.
What about? Well, okay. So we figured out afterwards that the guillotine had the guillotine had in the news. It looked like it was taken, but it was actually kind of left.
Abandoned.
It was abandoned. It was left there. The poor thing.
Yeah, there was a lot of misinformation around that, especially from the mainstream media. A lot of talk about that there was going to be a bunch of radical right wingers there, and that it was more of a.
They were hoping.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they wanted that to happen, but then there was no conflict, because even the Antifa people were like, yeah, no, we also think that we should be armed. You know,
we all want to be armed.
Because obviously for different reasons than
Everyone...
people on our side of things, but they want to. They're shooting for a different type of revolution.
Yeah.
Right. But either way, a revolution, it requires weapons.
Yeah,
it requires
let's level
guns.
the playing
So
field.
that was something that people on the far right, the people on the far left, and the people on the libertarian side all can unite on that. The only people that are opposed to that are the centrists, or the neocons, the neoliberals, the boomer Democrats, the boomer Trump supporters, or whatever it is. Those are the people that think about like, oh, should we do this type of license or that type of license?
Yes.
I lost you. It looks like the camera's still on, but I can't see you.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can.
Did you watch the State of the Union? Did you watch the clapping show?
I did watch the State of the Union. I thought it was very interesting. I thought I laughed so hard when they did the Rush Limbaugh thing. It's like, man, he's really just trying to piss them off.
You think that's
there it is. I got it back.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
nice.
he's really like he's just trolling them. Like, who do they hate the most? Rush Limbaugh. So he gives him an award, and then he does it like throws the medal out. You know, like whoever catches it, you know, wins the medal. You know, it was like
the bridesmaid.
Like
Oh,
You're gonna get the Liberty Medal next.
You know, so I don't think that's ever happened. I mean, nobody knew. He didn't know what to think, but it was actually, you know, from his standpoint, wanting to do something nice for him, it was actually kind of interesting to do it that way, because a lot of times, you know, like we saw with the Hall of Fame, like how they went to Jimmy Johnson this last year, or Bill Cowher, and the representative from the Hall of Fame shows up and says, hey, you're, you know, on air, you know, hey, we're bringing you into the Hall of Fame, you know, and those that's the big moment, you know. It's not the moment when you're accepting it, you know, a month later when you've had this thing scheduled and you're kind of nervous and you're all dressed up and you're wearing uncomfortable shoes. You know, he's just sitting there, and all of a sudden he's getting an award. So I thought that was, you know, politics aside, I thought that was a cool moment. You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Rush Limbaugh fan or a big Trump fan, but
no.
I thought the tearing up of the speech was a
beautifully childish.
Okay, now
it was ridiculous. I thought that was so stupid. Like, how are you going to just act like she's incompetent at this point? I don't know if she ever was. Maybe it's the liquor. It does take a toll, I can tell you.
Now that's it. That's what we were wondering, what was in the glasses. Not that I'm going to judge her for drinking. 9
glasses in front of her.
I'd be drinking just as much sitting there. Watching
I don't care. I don't care if she drinks.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not the kind of person, like, there was a big uproar. One of the local judges or something like that got pulled over for a DUI, and everyone wanted their head on a platter. And I'm like, no, like, we don't do that. It's not they do that with, like, you know, a black guy, you know, does this, gets, you know, 20 years, you know, white kid from the suburbs, you know, rapes, you know, somebody, and they get, you know,
he's got
probation, community service. You know, but we're looking at different situations. You know?
Yeah. Do you
everybody
feel
should
like
be able to drive drunk, not just judges?
Well, yeah, exactly. So how am I gonna? Yeah, so exactly. So how am I gonna try to tell this guy? How am I gonna tell him? You know, you need to go to prison, when I'm sitting over here like, well, you know, I think a couple of drinks is maybe okay sometimes. Yeah. Maybe you know, as long as you don't hurt anyone. You know, it's not really my business, you know?
That's like bitching
or being reckless.
Like bitching about churches being tax exempt when everybody should be tax exempt.
Right.
Oh, yes. Perfect example. That used to be me. That was me in like 2015. Like saying, oh, they just tax the churches and pay for my health care with it.
Just tax the corporations. Nah. Tax evasion.
Now it's so much with social media. There's like people live stream and they're like, I'm going to the hospital in Canada, you know, and it sucks and it looks like a third world country, and you know there's 80 people in the waiting room, and they have like bigger waiting rooms there than they do in American hospitals because of how long you have to wait.
Because of how long you have to wait.
The waiting room extends to your living room.
The waiting room.
So why don't you just go home?
You should see the waiting
room.
People
still buy private insurance. People still buy private insurance.
You know,
imagine making $100,000 a year and only bringing home 55 of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Imagine making 50 grand and only bringing home 35 or 32.
Wait, is that after taxes?
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's more than we pay.
Yeah. In Canada, we knew some people who lived up there, and you know, they were well off, and they said like, you don't want.
Wait, is that Jay?
You don't want the thing that we have because it's not that great. Like it sounds well, yeah, that's good, why. But like you don't want the thing. You don't want this universal health care.
Well, I'm an NBA fan. The Toronto Raptors struggle with, you know, keeping a superstar out there because of the tax rate. You know, A lot of people, and you think if you're, I bet on, well, I hear about the high profile people, but on a smaller level, if you're only like a $1 million a year guy or a $2 million a year guy, you only got a couple of years to work.
Yeah.
Before your knees are gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you want to spend that time in Toronto where you're paying? I mean, think about that. Think about getting paid multi-millions, $3-4 million a year in Canada. Like they're taking $2 million a year in taxes of your $4 million.
Yeah. Yep.
When you could go to the San Antonio Spurs in Texas where there's no state taxes, or Florida.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. Can you say those names again?
No, there's a lot of cities and a lot of states.
We're
not in one of them.
I know, everything's so different. Like a friend of mine moved from South Carolina here and homeschooling, and we were talking, and she's like, "Oh, this stupid like inspection, and what's the new thing we have to get, the emissions, And she's like, "You guys have to get state inspections for your cars," and I was like, "You don't? Like, yeah. Where you came from, you don't have to do that?"
Hey, we gotta shut this
Where did they come from?
One of the Carolinas, I think. It was South Carolina, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but it just blew my mind that there are places that, don't.
So you're in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
One of the highest gas taxes in the country.
We suck.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like it was kind of mixed. Like the western half is a little bit more conservative. You have the Amish people, right?
We do.
we got some Amish.
Got some Amish.
Way far away. Yeah.
No, a couple,
about
maybe
45
an hour,
minutes.
if that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know it was like that. Okay.
No, yeah.
But it's like you can go 45 minutes in a different direction and hit a big
Cleveland.
city, yeah, or go like 2 hours south and hit Pittsburgh. But if you go like
45 minutes towards Corey,
east, yeah, like,
those horse and buggies.
Yeah, yep.
Wow. Yeah, we don't have that out here. See, Colorado, most of the people that live in the state of Colorado live in the Denver metro area, or Colorado Springs, Fort Collins. Outside of that, it's like small towns or like ski towns, things like that. But the ski towns, they're like Vail, Aspen, those kind of places. Anyone that lives there is like an ultra wealthy, outdoorsy person, so they're obviously like a boomer Democrat. They're like the people, like the Hollywood stars, they're like that style style of liberal.
That's
and then all the people in, obviously, anytime you go to an urban area, basically anywhere in the country, it's blue. So we have, as the Denver metro area keeps growing and people keep coming here, and it just keeps getting bluer and bluer and bluer, and
do you feel like people are flocking there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great place to be. The economy's great. The weather isn't too bad one way or the other. There's no hurricanes. There's no volcanoes. Very rarely is there a tornado anywhere in the metro area. It's just nice. There's lots of stuff to do. There's lots of young people. There's there's cool neighborhoods, and there's hip things to do that young people like, or whatever. I just make memes.
Yeah. Sit back and make memes.
No. It's great. There's lots of stuff to do. There's lots of cool bars and activities, and we got hockey team, NBA team, football team, baseball team.
That's awesome.
So it's very nice out here, but it's going just left in a hurry.
In a hurry, yeah, yep. So when are you starting your campaign? When does it start?
I am supposed to be. I'm supposed to be writing a. So the fundraising is where I'm at right now. So it depends on how quick the fundraising goes. So we're gonna try to do that. I don't want to do something corny where I'm like asking for contributions. I'm gonna find a couple of people, to run a campaign like this.
Yeah.
You need some money, but you don't. It doesn't need to be like Bernie Sanders on, Facebook ads every 10 seconds asking for $5, like $5 more, $5 more,
Yeah.
we're almost there. You're this close to getting health care. $5 more. You give me $5 more. Oh man,
This close.
that was did you see Elizabeth Warren telling the story about how just a broke person that had gotten out of college has all this debt, can't get a job because their degree sucks, and their life just is terrible, and I only had $10 left, but I gave $5 of it to your campaign just for hope that I can get rid of these student loans. And it's like people are seriously voting like it's, I mean, they're offering free stuff, and it's really that simple, and it seems like it's just a meme, or it's just a joke, or it's absurd, or us exaggerating them to make fun of them or something. But it really is that for some people. Most people think very simply. The general public is not very sharp.
I don't think so. I concur.
All right, I do have to go to sleep though.
Dave has to go to sleep. I don't want to end this, but can we?
No, I gotta go.
Can we?
5 hours.
I know.
12 hours.
Damn it!
No, get out of here. I'm gonna leave either way. I'm not gonna let you stay up any later. It's. Oh my God! I forgot you guys are 2 hours in front, aren't you?
Yeah.
Are we?
Holy
what time
crap.
is it for you? It's 12:30 here. 12:37. What time?
It's 10:37.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Yeah, we're 2 hours behind. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking
We're in
one,
the
but
future.
still, yeah, we're in the
And
future.
John Warner still, when he calls, it's too late. I don't know how he does that. Oh,
I
but
know.
he's behind. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's an hour.
He's
even
behind.
behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. I know.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I need California time.
thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thank
Dude, this
you,
was a lot of fun.
dude. Thank you for coming on. This was fantastic. If people want to follow you, just go right to your page.
Yeah, go to my page. Go, make District 1 Dope Again as a page. I'm currently the admin of Fax Machine right now because of some, at least temporarily. I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I've been very busy. I don't know. I got pushed into something here. So you can find me on Fax Machine. Always anywhere that Sean Hatchie is, I'm not too far behind.
Right.
DTSH3, the search for Spock.
Yeah.
That's
DTSH
awesome.
community group.
Oh yeah.
A lot of
Liberty
fun.
Memes Patreon members.
Yep.
You know where to find me.
Yeah.
I'm all over the place.
That's great.
You better ask somebody.
Bo, this was so fun.
Bo is omnipresent on the internet. You don't have to go very far to find me.
You don't. Thank you so much for coming on. This was so great.
I gotta move
Please
this pizza.
come
Wonderful.
back. Please come back and tell us how things are going, so everyone can keep up to date on what's happening with you.
Well, definitely. I think I got to get to introduce myself and a little bit better to you guys, and maybe we can delve a little deper into some other things maybe another time.
Yeah.
I can try to make
for
some time on a Tuesday, so I'm not taking a time slot away from somebody that might be maybe a little bit more
Big
notable.
show.
No, this was great, Bo. This was fantastic. This was wonderful. But please come on a Tuesday too, though, because
Yeah, this was a great
Check
show.
out,
But everyone was excited.
Check out the pictures I put words on
check it.
all over.
Those memes.
I like making the pictures, but I can't put words on them. I don't have the words.
Oh, yeah. You're really
I like
really
doing
good.
the pictures.
Yeah. Someone's like, hey,
I'll send you templates. I'll start sending you templates.
No, I make templates.
I have some great ones that I found on this Dutch website. Some stuff from 2015. Some great templates there. I'll send you some of those. No, really good templates.
Yeah.
Just weird situations. Like something similar to something you might see on like Squatting Slavs. Stuff like that. But
Well,
ones they're not currently using, they're new. Yeah, you got to be creative to find the pictures.
Dave's like, let me zip this up real quick.
Let me get a squat.
Let me
going on
squat.
Nice.
Where's my bottle?
You need a bottle to hold Dave. Yeah.
Where are my
Oh,
Adidas?
Right.
I've always wanted an Adidas tracksuit.
Yeah, we
It's
need
gonna
to.
happen when we make it. You'll know we made it because Dave will be wearing an Adidas tracksuit.
Every episode. Every
I gotta
episode.
get one now just so I can do a picture.
Yeah.
Right,
With the hat
right.
and an Adidas tracksuit.
All veloured out.
Everybody in there squatting.
And make sure I gotta practice. I gotta start practicing now so I can keep the feet flat, you know?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I feel that.
JJ is woke.
I'm just going to go ahead
All right.
and wear heels in mine so my ankles don't look all tight when I'm... like, I'm a girl. I can wear heels in a squatting slob position. Beau, thanks so much. This is great.
This was a lot of fun.
It was. It was
Thank
too
you
much
so
fun.
much.
Too much fun. I mean, seriously, too much fun.
Tons
Come
of
back
fun.
again, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Will do. Definitely.
right.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a good night.
Good night,
Later.
Beau.
I'll be in the comments in a minute.
Okay.
Oh, no, you're leaving. You're going to bed. Good night. Go to sleep.
We're going to be here for another minute.
A minute.
A minute.
Okay.
minute.
Fantastic. I'll be there.
All right.
Okay. Good night.
That was fun. Oh, my. That was so much fun. That was a great time. Boy, that went by quick. I feel like
I
we
like
could just-
JJ. He's pretty funny.
Yeah, we could just hang out.
We like Beau though, so you can't rip on Beau.
Yeah.
But
I feel like-
you're a funny dude.
I feel like we could hang out all night and just chat
Yeah, but
with Beau.
like I said,
know, but you got to work in the
like
morning.
4 or 5 hours
Bleh.
of sleep, 12 hours of work.
Stupid work. I know.
But one more beer.
But one more beer,
Oh, you'll
right?
have just one.
You'll have just one more.
Right.
Woo! Holy shit. Now it makes me want to chug this one so I can open one.
You can help me with this one.
Can I just open one of my own?
You're cool.
Sean
Jay.
Hatchie, thank you. Jay, no, you're awesome.
I don't know
Joel,
what Twitch has,
thank you.
but if you want to hit that like or whatever.
Whatever the Twitch has. That was so much fun. Oh my gosh, when are we hanging out? Sean
Oh,
Hatchie and
Beau's
Beau.
fucking cool.
I know. How have you guys never? I want to be there. Like the moment that. Oh, thank you, Chris. I need to be there. I need to be a fly on the wall when you guys meet in real life for the first time.
Probably like me when me and Sean Hatchie met, and
Oh
he's already
my
in my
gosh.
house, and I'm like, "What's up?"
I know. Sean Hatchie came over, and I was like, "Dude, I just finished cleaning the house. I need to take a shower." And he's like, "Okay, go shower. I'll watch the kids." And I'm like, "Thank you so much." Yes, Dave's got some overtime. He gets to work He
What
gets
you got,
to.
JJ? What time zone you in?
He gets to work Saturday, which he signed up for repeatedly, and they didn't give it to him.
got
And
overtime in over a
finally, they
month.
gave it to him tomorrow for
They
12
gave it
hours.
all to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, just a little, and they're like, "You're getting it all.
Yeah, and
You're
then
getting 28 hours in 2 days."
and then Sunday he signed up, and they're like, "You can have 8 of those hours," and I'm like, "Psych, you can have 16." So he's gonna be working.
Oh, you're in Australia. We got friends in Australia.
Yeah. Wait, is this not the J we're thinking of? This is a different JJ.
It's an Australian JJ.
It's an Australian JJ.
That's why at first
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was a dude that we know.
Yeah, no, hi. Well, JJ,
No, he's an opal miner out in the desert.
Oh.
Are you in the fires, man? You
Yeah.
you,
No,
you
you
in-
good? You good?
You good?
We facing layoffs due to our corona-infested Chinese supplies being shut down.
I'm worried
Shut
about
up.
that shit because
John, are you
I'm
kidding
kind of
me?
in the
I love you, JJ.
I'm kind of in the
just want you to know
distribution
that.
area. So if
I love you. love you.
because it's like we make wheels, so it's like if shit stops moving, then product stops rolling and we stop selling wheels. And we're already hurting from Trump's friggin' war on everything.
Yeah, take it if you can get it. I know. That's it. Right now, at this point, it's feast or famine. You gotta.
I'm used to going like 64, 72 hours, 72 hour week. Fuck, I shouldn't talk when I'm doing that. But, and then it died.
But you just had.
And
you
I
had
was always like, yeah,
40-hour
I can
weeks
live
for so
on
long,
40
yeah.
hours. Yeah, I can live on 40 hours if I don't want to do anything besides eat beans.
Yeah, but also like we're trying to pay off our debt, which
We-
isn't. According to Dave Ramsey, we shouldn't be in any debt anyway, but we're not in the worst
I shouldn't.
place.
No,
like
we're good.
He's gonna get their tracksuits. Oh my gosh.
Andy, thank you for the pizza, dude. That was fucking delicious.
Andy, that was so good, and what a wonderful surprise. Oh my.
Yeah.
Made my night. Thank you, Andy. Seriously. Andy Borzowski with the Pizza Hut pizza, meat lovers pizza, right to our door. Unexpected. Thank you.
JJ enjoyed watching me eat the pizza that Andy ordered.
I know, right? Yeah.
I'm like the star of the show. Like,
you are you're always baby.
I don't know if the Twitch viewers were talking about you or me, but I think that they wanted to see my private stream.
I think so too.
I assume.
I mean, look at you.
Not
You got
JJ.
that, like-
The people came in before.
Oh
you.
yeah, and look at this.
They're trying to get intimate with
he's
us.
He's all trimmed
me.
up, and he got a haircut and shit.
Yeah, you
He's
should've seen
fucking
me last
sexy.
week.
Holy, yeah.
Oh, that drink counter's
drink
way
counter's
off.
wrong.
Hold on, let me count real quick.
Counter's way wrong, by the
1,
way.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm at 8. Where are you at, girl?
5 going on 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 going on 6.
Did you count to